Hello, hello, hello. We're testing this out. See if this works. We have a new LAN cable to use. So we're gonna be doing that. Um,
A new ranked season starts today. Every prize counts. Every reward. One step closer.
see if this works. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Just testing this out, just testing things out. Where the hell did Bangalore go? Oh, it's underneath. She's underneath my face. Okay. So we sort of have a special thing happening today. Gonna do some stuff up here. Testing. Testing. Mic check. Check.
1, 2. Need to give me a little rip there, Michael. We need you to go up and down. We need to do a little hey, and then we'll see how it works. Awesome.
Whee-oo.
Absolutely.
Skippy. Sheesh.
I like a cup.
It's cupping.
It's a cuppin'.
It's a cupping.
I've got me a hard cider I'm going to be sipping on.
Nice. I have a Corona
Very
and
foamy.
a Modelo's and rum and Pepsi because I couldn't find Coke.
Absolutely, man.
We're doing that.
What you got?
All right. I think my stream is alive, so hopefully we'll be able to
mine thrown in there as well.
see how this goes.
I've already seen this.
I have not. I skipped it because I don't care.
Yep.
Hello and welcome everybody to the stream. I'm the
Yeah.
Bangalorian, the captain of your vessel, escorting you through this journey through the vast and the infinite multiverse. I'm here with the first agent of the multiverse, Agent Retro. How are you today, sir?
I am good.
I'm also good. We have our drinks, we have our muggies, and we are here to tell you a story, whether you like it or not. We're gonna take a few seconds.
Like it.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna take a few seconds to post to our socials if we haven't done it already. Remember to take your first step, and we hope you enjoy yourselves. Here we go.
Absolutely. I have already posted to my socials.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Hop over here.
Oh, great.
I'm gonna jump in this firing range.
Yeah, I'm gonna
for the remainder of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. Just gonna go in there. I think we should probably do our own individual firing ranges because I know we'll probably get the itch to shoot something. So, for the sake of audio quality and just like having a clear audio for both of us, I think it'll be probably for the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so I sent you the thingy from what you asked a while back. I think starting from like the very beginning would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with my social right now, but there you go. Okay.
It's having a doohickey of a time.
Yeah, it's like it's not posting. It's like cannot send tweet. It's like, oh. If you say so.
Rude.
Well, let's start it off with my all-time favorite question to ask. How did you first get involved? Like, when did you first hear about this? Your game.
I heard about this. Like, this was actually, I remember when it dropped because it was a surprise drop. Like, they didn't announce it. They didn't do anything on social media or anything. It was rumored for a while, but they didn't post anything about it coming out. And one day it was just like live. And they're like, "Hey guys, go check out this, creator of Titanfall. They just created a new battle royale. Go check it out." And I was like, "Oh wow!" And I saw the trailer. I was like, "Oh wow!" And I was like, "Okay, I'll go see. I'm I've played some Call of Duty. I know how to do FPS and all that good stuff. So I figured I'd go out there and check this out, and instantly just was attracted to the characters, the abilities, the map, and the lore was intriguing. It was just classic Kings Canyon at that time, and it was like, okay, it's like this is a
Yeah.
cool vibe, and it was something that not a whole lot of cyberpunk or dystopian properties can actually grab me because they're either too dystopian or they're not dystopian enough, or they're a certain type of dystopian that's just not my vibe. This one just ticked all of my dystopian vibes because it was still technologically advanced for like space travel and like laser weapons and all that shit, but everything was still very real and boots on the ground when it came to the characters and where they come from, how they have their own personal style. Um, all of it, the different personalities definitely added to that as well. So it ticked a lot of my boxes early on. Um, but yeah, like that's how I got into it. And this actually came out, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks after I had made that investment to start streaming. So I had started
Oh
trying to play
wow.
stuff and just get into this. I was playing I remember playing all the way through my first Uncharted playthrough before I found Apex. So it was probably a month or two. Um, so yeah, I had played a few things while live and stuff while I was starting this career path, and it was like, so this came out, and I was like, oh wow, okay, I'm gonna be playing online. Might as well go out there and meet people and see if I can market a little bit. Say I'm live on Twitch, go check out my channel, all that stuff, and go hang out with people. So that was definitely a big step for me. Quicksilver, what's up? We are talking about our journey with Apex Legends. We have not been playing it for a while, but yeah, just talk
About
about how we got into it
about
and
2 seasons now. Yeah,
yeah.
give or
Um,
take.
but yeah, no, we're just talking about it. I'm just running around the firing range while I talk and stuff. But yeah, no, back to that. I remember they dropped this, and I was having a lot of fun with it. I didn't do any like hardcore online multiplayer prior. So this was like my first super online playing with people, playing competitively scene. But yeah, I really enjoyed all of this. Bro, I'm max level. Not from this stupid update that they did where you can
Was it
prestige
max
quote
level?
unquote, but no, I've been max level for what, 10 seasons already?
Give or no, it's been 13 seasons that we've been maxed
13
out.
seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
Um,
when I went to check my stats on that one website, I was like level 700 or something.
oh,
Like,
I'll believe it.
yeah, I was like already up there, and it's yeah, like that tracking site, whatever it's called. I can't remember off the top of
Yeah,
my head, but you know,
yeah.
it be
No,
what it be.
rank wise, I don't do ranked, so I'm
No,
just at the
never
bottom.
did.
Angel. But yep. No, I fell in love with this game. This was a great place to just kind of jump in, and I didn't have a whole lobby of people to talk to whenever I dropped in. It was just two other people.
Hmm.
Um, so it wasn't as daunting when it came to my social anxiety. So it was nice to just drop in and say like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And then I'd have two people respond, and I was like, "Okay." It just felt a little more personal when it came to talking to people and
Definitely.
breaking that ice for me personally, just to get out there and talk. But um, so yeah, I started doing that, and a couple weeks, I don't know, maybe a month went by of me playing that, and I ran into you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. About a
So we'll
month or
throw it back
so.
over to you, dude. How did you get
Okay.
started in this?
Give me 1 sec here. Mm.
Oh, you're good.
Mm-mm-mm. I was chewing some pork chop. Anyway,
Absolutely.
um, oh man, from what I remember, um, that far back at least, at the time I was working at the current place that I'm working at, and a lot of us were kind of like younger dudes and gamers at the time. Um, and there was this one guy, his name's Matt. Now Matt not isn't much of a gamer from what I remember, but he wanted to get into some games, and he would ask people. Um, we kind of had like a sort of repertoire that we just kind of like talked to each other when we were around, and kind of helped each other out at work when it was convenient, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a day where he just like rolled up on his forklift or whatever it was, and he was just like, "Yo, so I hear you got like experience with like video games. Like, what do you play?" So at the time, I was playing a lot of Tomb Raider and a little bit of Overwatch and blah blah blah. And he's like, "Yep, yep, yep. That's what they said. That's what they said. That's what they said." And he never really told me at that time who he was talking about, like who said what to him.
Hmm.
But he's like, "Have you heard like you play FPS, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I play FPS." And he's like, "Cool, cool, cool. Have you heard about like Apex Legends?" I'm like, "I might have seen a trailer for it, but like it's kind of like a recent thing or something, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, like it just like dropped or they're going to drop it, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, so what do you want me for?" And he's like, "Well, those guys over there were telling me how you're just like FPS and you were competitive at one point." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I mean, it wasn't like a big competitive thing that I did, because like when people say, 'Oh, you did a competitive thing,' people like assume like you had like a straight up career in it and
Yeah.
like
Went to
had your
tournaments and
and went
stuff.
to tournaments. Yeah, when I did competitive, we did do a few tournaments, but it wasn't like a big fucking thing.
Yeah.
It was just like on a server that they gave us a code for, not something
Hmm.
huge like internationally and televised and whatever. But I
Yeah.
did do like he wasn't wrong. Like he got his info correct. But and
Hmm.
he's like, "I just want your opinion on the game. Do you mind watching the trailers and kind of like giving me your feedback?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you want to know?" And he's like, "Well, I want to play it." And I'm like, "Well, what's your style?" And he would kind of express his gameplay choices and whatever. And I was like, "Cool, I'll look into it." I watched. I remember. I think it was like the first animation, like their launch trailer or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember just kind of like, okay, they got personality. That's decent. That's not something you always get with your hero things. Normally, they're like a blank slate with some decent voice lines, and that's it.
Yeah.
Um, but
Valid.
these guys had their
Anyway.
thing, right? So what ends up happening, I start watching all the Meet the Legend trailers. Like you got your Mirage trailer specific, you got your Wraith, and blah blah blah. And I was like, cool, cool. And the thing was, he wanted me to watch the Legend specific trailers because he wanted to play the Ninja Girl or the robot. And I was like, okay. So I
Okay.
ended up, I started watching the trailers, and then like 2 days later, I think, give or take, because he worked on even days, not odd days. So two
Yeah.
days later or whatever, he comes up to me, he's like, "So what do you think?" And I'm like, "I think you'd be good with the Ninja Girl," because like I didn't remember the names at the time because I really wasn't really all that invested. For some context as to why I wasn't invested was it like give or take a couple months prior to that moment, I had just
Yeah.
left some of these competitive teams. Um, Due to like as cliche and stupid as it sounds, I left because of creative differences.
The
But it like
differences.
just to like be polite and not because I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna watch today. Because
Yeah.
I might have blabbed, but my point is people know who I'm talking about when I say creative differences, and that's polite enough. So,
Yeah.
um, what ended up happening was these two people that were like sort of the team leaders of this competitive team I was on kind of wanted to splinter off into their own separate groups, and they kind of like cherry picked the people that they wanted. And let's just say by the time they got to me, it left a bad taste in my mouth, and I wasn't really pleased with how they were kind of looking down at some of the people and how they
Yeah.
decided to,
Pathfinder.
you know, uh,
Yeah.
more or less kind of breeze through people, like not
Hmm.
as people, but as cogs in a machine, right? So I didn't
Yeah.
like that. It kind of hurt my feelings given how the time and the effort that I gave them was like, 2.5 years prior. So
Yeah.
after that, I just broke off from gaming and I kind of did my own solo thing. Like, played solo adventure games at the time, mainly Tomb Raider, amongst other things. But anyway, so I wasn't really interested in picking up another team-based multiplayer game. So it ended up kind of being one of those things where he was really wanting to get into it, and he, for whatever reason, I don't know, like even till this day, I still don't know why he chose me, but he said he wanted my opinion, he wanted my, my thoughts. And given what I knew about his gameplay style, like the one thing that came to mind was like, yeah, you'd be perfect with Wraith, and maybe not Pathfinder because you're not wanting to go up into, you're not mobility. Mobility is not your thing. So I would say maybe go for Wraith for sneak attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's like, who would you play? And I was like, funnily enough, I'd probably play Wraith. And he's like, really? Why? And then we kind of got into it, and it was really interesting. Um, but like, yeah, that would have been my first introduction into it, and which kind of leads me into my next question for us. Um, what was it that got you to stick around when you eventually did get your hands on it? If you do you want to go ahead, or should I continue?
Yeah, we can jump back and forth. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that just kind of keep
Uh,
Smiling face with halo.
that way one person doesn't have the floor too
oh,
long.
Angel.
Me personally, I dropped in, and when you landed, the only two characters that they had, well, I think they had like what, four? They had four available, and then there was two that were locked, and you had to unlock them. And the two that were locked were uh, Mirage and
And
Caustic.
Caustic, yeah.
And when I started, that's the first thing I did. It's a game. I'm picking. If I have to pick a character, I'm going to go through the characters and see which one I like the most and see. And as soon as I hit that list, Mirage was my favorite. And it was
Mm,
like, oh, his skills. Ooh, the person. I like the personality. I like the skills. I like his vibe. But he's locked. I was like, okay. At that time, you needed legend tokens in order to unlock legends. So I was
yeah.
like, okay, so I'm gonna have to pick someone to play. So at that point, when I started playing, I picked up Pathfinder. Pathfinder was my second. I was just like, oh, I like the vibe of this robot, and also I have a thing for robots. It's just like if it's a sentient robot, it has a personality. I will hug that thing until the day I die. But no, I loved Pathfinder, and so I was like, okay, I'll jump in here. I didn't know how to use the skills. I barely knew how to use the guns. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna play some matches, maybe kill someone. I'll try not to die, and I'll try and get as many points as I can, and I'll get my boy. So I was like, okay. So I dropped in there with Pathfinder, had barely a career, and then yeah, once I got Mirage, I've been a Mirage main ever since. Picked up
Yeah,
a couple legends after that, but yeah, just straight up diehard Mirage main, all the way till the
definitely.
end.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
no,
love that.
yeah, and he's really the main reason I've been around this long. I've gotten
Yeah,
better with him in different ways that I didn't know I could get better, and I dedicated that time and energy here and was able to put my own play style on him and
Best friend is caustic
bring
main.
something else to the battlefield that
nice.
no one I haven't seen anyone else do, and I've been so happy that I've had such a successful career with him, and have so many matches that are just mind blowing, and we've pulled off some
Absolutely.
crazy stuff that are all over our YouTube. If you guys want to just go and look at both of our YouTube channels, it's loaded with
We will
Apex
have
Legends
links
stuff.
in our descriptions later for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like the greatest hits. I'll have his perspective and mine, and then we'll post it
Yep,
together.
yep, absolutely.
Um, just cause like he's not joking, man. Like we have some, like it sounds like we're exaggerating, right? Because of course it sounds like an exaggeration. We're mind blown
We're,
over some of the stuff that we did, but it's real. Like it's all real. It's all true.
we've got it all recorded, and 9 times out of 10, it's me and him playing in trios. And
But
that
like as
end
a
game is
duo,
us against, yeah, and it's me and him up against that either that last team or those last two teams, and it's six people, three people,
yeah, for
and it's
real.
like the odds are 33% against us in most of those turnouts, and we end up turning that around and
Yeah,
walking away, and it's amazing to watch just how it works. But it's
yeah, for real.
it's 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 been a good time, and I've been really happy with my career with him. But it is because of him, his personality, his vibe, and just wanting to be here and wanting to play, and just the desire to bamboozle is real.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I can see
it's
that.
it's
I
definitely
have
it's
seen it.
definitely yeah
Yeah,
it's definitely because of him.
definitely. No, I get that.
So we'll throw that right back at you, bro.
Honestly, it's interesting that when I first got involved, um, I remember picking Wraith. No, sorry, Pathfinder. I meant Pathfinder. My bad. But I remember picking Pathfinder just because I wanted to see what mobility would be um, like how big that range was, how big, what was the scope of what a mobility legend would be like. Like I wanted to know and I wanted to understand it. And when I realized how complicated it actually was, I was like, this is going to be interesting for me to learn. Um, because one of the things I really liked about having played competitively for uh, like I don't even know 2.5 years roughly, was the fact that we actually had to communicate with each other. We had to
Hmm.
constantly be verbal. We have to genuinely and thoughtfully be ahead of ourselves in every aspect. Like we have to not only condition ourselves to learn every weapon that we decide to pick up and master, but we also have to understand the weapon of the guy next to us. Like
Hmm.
it was mandatory. Like when I got assigned my squad, like to be a part of a squad, I had to learn everything about those people in terms of gameplay and what they decided to choose and pick up.
Hmm.
So if for anyone who's watching my end of this, uh, one of the first weapons I picked up was a 301, right? The carbine. And I freaking love this gun because it says it's the it's like your Wonder Bread. Like it goes good with anything. And
Yeah.
it really does tickle your funny bone every now and then with how satisfying it can really be. And the funny thing was, I was like, oh, so we have different tiers for attachments. You have your what was it? I called it
BRB.
tin for silver. Come back soon, Angel. We had your blue, your purple, and now oh no, eventually we got our red. And I was like, oh, that's very interesting. So like each tier has like a different effect on each gun. And what I ended up learning was what tier worked best for me. Do I want a purple barrel stabilizer? Do I want a tin stock? What type of magazine would I want? And I kind of mixed and matched. And from
Yeah.
the 301, I went down that list with
Hmm.
every other gun in the game that I thought would be best for me. So it went from the 301, Peacekeeper, Ava or Eva, whatever you want to call it. I went through the I'm drawing a blank. 99, and then for my final destination on terms of light weapons, it was the alternator. For whatever reason, a compact weapon has always been something that worked out for me, regardless of what game it was. It always worked
Yeah.
for me. And I ended up learning that to a T and having like the weirdest combinations of like tiers for every attachment to the point when some people wanted the gun because they needed a gun, I just hand it over and they'd be like, I can't control this. And but the funny part
Hmm.
was I could because it was specifically designed for me. And I
Yeah.
love that shit. Now, once I learned that, I moved on to shields and then helmets and then backpacks. And then I was like, what tier do I need for the beginning of the match? Do I want blue or tin? Do I want purple before the mid game? Do I want it at the end game? And then it just became this whole thing that ended up filling a 30-page notebook that I had at the time, and it was just filled with mathematical equations as to what weapons did the most damage to a tin armor, blue armor, purple armor, gold armor, and then I went through all that with attachments and what they did for recoil and blah 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 blah. And then that's what hooked me was the
Yeah.
fact that I had to learn and actually be good at what I was picking up, regardless if I hated the gun or not. I had to learn. And that was the thing that genuinely and most honestly gave me the biggest satisfaction at that time.
Yeah.
Um, well, later on, I did have to pick a legend, obviously. And you said yourself you were like a Pathfinder at one point, just to sort of like clear a path directly to Mirage. And I think that's very interesting because I too picked Pathfinder. And that was very fun for me at the time as well. I did enjoy the character, and I'm not entirely sure why it hooked me. I think it was just like his genuine earnestness and his genuine innocence at
Yeah.
the time, but it wasn't for me. I eventually went with Wraith because I always had a thing for goths. but eventually, like as time went on, and we'll get to that as well, um, they kind of destroyed that character, and she no longer felt familiar to me. Um,
Yeah.
but the character that always reigned supreme for me, even till like my final day of like the whatever the last time it was that I played this game, the last match I had was as Bangalore. And I'll never forget the shitty first match I had with her, but for whatever reason, it clicked. And and I've told you this before too, bro. I know I've told you at least like a dozen times by now. But the
Oh yeah.
reason why she really clicked, like it was her voice lines. Like that reassured, I know what I'm doing. I know what to do. We have this much time to get this job done, so we have to do it in that time or less. And I was like, that sounds familiar. And
Yeah.
it was really funny because like when I joined this game, like when I started playing it, I was just like, dude, like what would my freaking team leaders want me to do? And then it just sort of became something that became like a voice in my head that like kind of coached me through mid game, you know, like early game, mid game, and end game. And then
Yeah.
eventually when I did find Bangalore and really stuck with her as my secondary for like the first season and a half, no, first 2.5 seasons as my secondary, and then really clinching it in the beginning hours of season three. I was like, yeah, it's her voice lines that really captured me and genuinely made me
Yeah.
feel like I was at home again in a military shooter. So, like, you know,
Yeah.
like your Call of Duties, your Battlefronts, and whatever, your Battlefields rather, and
Battlefront works too.
it works, yeah, and in a way, it was super interesting that that's what took me home and made me really feel comfortable here. Um, and yeah, like it was super interesting to not only find success in the most basic run-of-the-mill mechanics of the game in terms of like attachments and picking a weapon, but also finding success in the legends that I picked very early on, and then kind of carrying that through. And if I could just lead with one more question in case you want to ask some of your own. My last question for the beginning era, I guess, of this whole thing was what was the first moment of like, yeah, I freaking did it in the early hours of Apex for you? Like when I say early hours, I'm talking like seasons one through maybe three. Uh, if you don't mind my asking.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. Um, the early half of my entire career, there's a little hazy because I was going through a lot of life stuff, so I had some,
That's true.
anxiety and stress and stuff. So a lot of that's kind of hazy. But one moment I do remember was a big changer for me whenever I was playing this. Was I remember it was probably season two, Kings Canyon,
Mm,
and I remember I was playing one night, and I had this very I died again. I'll learn. I'll figure it out. I did
mm-hmm.
this wrong. I'll try and do it better next time. I did all that, but it was a very chill attitude about the whole thing and what I was doing there. And I remember one fight I had. I had all my guns, everything I needed, and this person had high ground on me. And
Mm.
they came out of I think it was right below Tower Baffle,
Oh yeah, lovely.
and I was coming up into that village from the ground level, and they had jumped down from there. As soon as they started shooting at me, I literally did a 180 in an open field and ran for the nearest cover and died in 3 seconds. In that moment, I had just a complete eye opener of what I was supposed to do, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, I'm actually gonna have to start getting good with these weapons, otherwise I'm just gonna keep doing this. I
Yeah.
was like, this is a habit I've developed. I gotta break this now if this is ever gonna get better. It's like so that was a real eye opener for me when it came to playing this game and what I was gonna be doing here. And I was just like, I want to do better here, but I'm gonna have to start working on it. So I started looking up what I was supposed to do in order to improve my aim and improve my movement. I looked up tips and tricks for using my abilities, all those things. I did my homework,
Yeah.
and I went in there, and I went into season three. I went into season three just on fire. I was like, I'm
A
ready.
changed man. You
Absolutely. I
did
was
your
just like,
Rocky montage,
I was,
essentially, yeah.
yep, yep, and I was ready for it. And at some point during season three, I remember picking up Caustic, and that's when my Caustic,
That's
the
right.
Caustic career that I actually forgot about in later seasons. I was just like, I really didn't have, he really wasn't my main, was he? Well,
Oh, yeah.
836 kills would say otherwise. I was like,
Definitely.
yeah, that was definitely season three into season four. And I was like, so that kind of blew me away when I noticed that. But, I was a lethal caustic main in season three. But that all came from all the practice and time I put in getting better at the game. I was actually getting kills whenever I dropped in. I was actually making it into top five, top three, getting second place. I was actually getting there, and I was getting better at a game I never thought I would get better at because I always sucked at Call of Duty, and I never really cared enough to get better at Call of Duty. So my first online competitive scene was this, and I'm like, yeah, I might actually have to get better here if I actually want to feel good about playing this game. So I put that time in season two, and it showed in season three. And that was a really that moment when I actually in an open field. No, there was probably cover about 6 feet on all sides, and I literally did a 180 and started running away, and I died. It was just like whoa, and it wasn't like oh I need to run away. It was like habitual. So I was like,
Oh,
oh, this
interesting
is
word.
something I was like, I'm gonna have to break this one. It's like, cause I can't keep going on like this. It's like
No,
this
it's
is
like
this is something
it's something
I just developed it.
exactly. I was about to
I
say
was
it's
like,
something that
I
developed.
need,
It was second
yeah,
nature at that point. Yeah, I get
hmm
that. Yeah, for
hmm
real. I totally get that shit. It's
absolutely,
funny
and
that
that
you
was,
describe it that way because it's true. Yeah.
yeah, that was
There
that
was
moment.
something like that for me too, now that I think about it. But
Yeah, it was
that's
that
crazy.
moment. I was like, wait, I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna have to break this because it was like it was
It's
so blatantly obvious that that was a bad thing. I was like,
yeah.
oh, this isn't gonna do me any good.
No.
So that was like, oh
I
wait, I might
really
actually have to do something
That's
about
so
this.
cool. I really love this back and forth that we're doing because
hmm
for those of you who are just joining us or like maybe don't know as much of our history as we've shared here and there, it's very 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 interesting that he and I are friends. It shouldn't
Very
work.
like horoscope, enneagram, personalities, interests,
Yeah. Oh my
everything. It
God, you
doesn't.
mentioned the Enneagram. Yes, yes. Oh
Yes,
my God,
bro,
it's so
all of it.
freaking weird because
we
everything under the stars has told us that we should hate each other and dramatically
except except
accept.
we are complete and utter geeky nerdy people.
Exactly. Like, don't get me wrong. He does get under my skin every now and then, but
Same,
it's not
same.
in this. You're right. Like it's the truth. It's the truth. We're being honest today. But
uh,
the funny thing is that genuinely makes me laugh when I think about it is the fact that it never really took hold of us in a way where we were like cutthroat. This guy's like my fucking enemy, and this guy needs to stop. It's never
yeah,
reached that point, but it's always kind of bubbled up at times. But then we always find a way to like healthily discuss what the problem is,
yeah,
and I always kind of think that's been kind of funny, like in a cosmic sort of way, right? Because
yeah.
his story literally tells you that he had this moment where he had to like genuinely think about what he was doing and how he was doing it, and then what he needed to do to change. I didn't have something like that. What happened to me, you remember this. You might have not been there for it, but my 420 badge, right? I love this
Yeah.
story, and I love having that badge on my banner because no one believes me when I tell that story. But
Yeah.
that was the big clincher moment. That was my, oh yeah, like I got this shit, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love that badge. So
That's
down
still
four.
amazing.
It's so amazing. I freaking love it. It's downing four enemies within 20 seconds or less.
within 20 seconds of hitting the ground.
And within no, it's in succession. It's not within hitting the ground. It's within succession.
Oh, so you
Yeah,
down one, counter starts, and then you have to get 3 more
Yeah,
before 20 seconds. Holy
yeah.
shit!
Yeah. See, okay, so this all happened on Kings Canyon because it's Kings Canyon is the
Kings
gift that
Canyon's amazing.
keeps on
It's
giving, man. It's like it's God's gift to
absolutely.
man. Anyway,
I hate that there's a group of people that actually want it removed.
yeah, you guys suck. Anyone who's
Yeah, a
ever
little
said
bit.
anything negative about Kings Canyon, you didn't have like a decent childhood there. Get
No
out of
one
here.
read to you before bed.
Mm. No, I'll never forget my moment there because it was a 301 Peacekeeper, and I was running up to that centerpiece, like that weird like well canyon thing outside of the bunker,
Mhm.
where the freaking respawn beacon is, and
Yeah.
I freaking love it because I remember running up to go through there because my team, for whatever reason, they wanted to go through it and go up to farm. Well, we call it the farm. It doesn't have that name anymore, but it's up there,
Yeah.
that facility that's there now.
Right at the top
So
of that hill.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. So they wanted to go through and go to that section, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead because I'm already here. I'll scope it out. So I ran up. Buddy is right there respawning his teammate, and I was like, no, down. Timer starts. He gets the respawn off, but he gets downed, and then other buddy comes through sliding from that top left, and I'm like, that's weird. Their buddy that's respawning at this point hits the ground, has nothing, done. And then at this point, I'm practically empty on my 301. Dude who was coming down sliding happened to be running away from somebody who was chasing him.
Oh my
I empty
god.
out the remaining of the 301, swap to Peacekeeper, down that guy. And at the end of that match, I got the little notification that I had gotten that
For your
freaking badge.
420. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And I was like, I'll never forget it. Because it was like the quickest, most intense moment of my career, probably, at the time. And that shit was fucking fast.
That's amazing.
I love it. It's my favorite moment, probably of my earliest career. Um, that's just the freaking best. On the topic of us just being friends, meeting him was probably the best thing that happened to me ever. Not in just in game, but in life. Because it really did change my perspective on a lot of things. Not in just games, but in life as well. And I'm going to be really. It sounds super dumb to everybody who I've ever told, and no one believes me. But it was super genuine and earnest, much like his Legend of Choice. But it all happened as follows. I'll never forget it. I had a shitty match prior because my teammates just sucked and would not talk, even though they had mics on. You know, the little symbol
That
pops up.
that's a chronic thing, guys. You guys need to get better about that. If you
You
got your
guys gotta
mics on
talk.
and you're playing, you gotta talk. Get in
You gotta
there. Be
talk.
social and make friends. It's a healthy
You,
thing.
like, even if you don't want to say hi, just make your call-outs happen, man. Like that can make or
Yeah.
break a game for real. But
Hey,
anyway,
if the only time you're gonna talk is to shit talk, then you better turn your mic off.
mhm. That's
Say
such
something
toxic
productive or don't
behavior,
say
bro.
anything at all. There we go. Back to the
Yeah.
point.
No, back to the point. The point was is that I had a shitty match, and I was kind of I was about to leave the match that I'm talking about.
What's up, Jaws?
This man, Agent Retro, was just chattering my ear off. He was talking to probably nobody at the time, but he was talking nonetheless. And he's talking about
Probably.
his previous match and how he was like picking up the 301 and he wanted to learn about it and blah blah blah, and how somebody from not the previous match but the match before that one had told him about it and he was going off on it. And I was like, that's really interesting that he wants to learn. That being the word that caught my attention. He wanted to learn. So I put my mic on, I turned it up, and I was like, you want to learn about the 301? It's like, yeah. Apparently it has really low recoil, like next to nothing if you have certain attachments on it. And I'm like, that is true. Because at the time, that freaking gun was busted as hell. And it kind of
That
still
one
is
was
to an
really
extent.
busted. Yeah.
And yeah, and like I remember we were just talking about it, and I'll never forget the lineup for the dropship. It was going straight for water treatment, now caustics treatment thing. And I'll never forget it because we touched down, and prior to us touching down, you made me laugh. You made me laugh, and that's all it took because it reset my headspace, it reset my mood, and then from that moment on, we just talked for the entire match. And I remember because you have this specific memory that I'm gonna call up, but you kind of always remember it out of order. But for me, it's clear
Probably.
as day because I super love that moment. Because there's a moment where we're heading down towards Bunker, and there was like at the time there was like a small hill that you had to kind of climb up, and it's not there anymore because they obviously changed the map a bunch. But like there was a hill up there, so we're going up north. From there to go to Bunker Town and the left hand side of Bunker, like the entryway going into blah blah blah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we're going up, and then I remember just suddenly stopping because I heard a gunshot go off, bang, and I'm like, "Yo, hold up!" And you're like, "What's up? What's going on?" And I'm like, "Just wait," and then it goes off again, bang, and it's a longbow, and I'm like, "There's a longbow northeast of us, about 200 meters out. I don't have enough equipment, but if you follow me this way, there's a little depot over here, like a little hut that we can get ammo, and there's usually a blue armor in there." And you're like, "Okay, yeah, let's go." And then we ran. Now, I always love it when you tell your side of it because you're like, "Oh, he knows what he's doing. I'll follow him." Funny thing is, I didn't really know what I was doing. I could just I just remembered that depot from a previous match and always landing there and finding blue armor. And the only reason why I knew how far that longbow was because of the echo, and I counted it. And because of how many seconds you add to the echo, it tells you the distance. So if it's 2 seconds echo, it's 200 meters, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, 200 meters. So it'll be probably northeast, depending on the ring out, which is like the vibrant vibration that you get from an echo. And it came from my northeast, so I was like, it's got to be that way. So we have to go this way and get the ammunition and whatever, blah, 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 and then we'll go from there. And that
You're
is,
proving my side of the story, right?
well, no, no,
You're
it's
literally
just like,
proving you're
well,
proving my side of
no,
the story. You're
no, it's
literally
not.
explaining exactly. You know exactly what you're doing.
No. I did because like it was super early in the career. Like yes, to an extent, I knew what like certain things like. I knew how to
Yeah.
count a gunshot because of previous experiences. So it wasn't
Yeah,
like I knew
absolutely.
what I was doing in Apex, but I knew what I
Yeah.
was doing in the sense of like sound effects and ring out
Yeah.
and the echo and blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
but ever since then, ever since that moment, you made me laugh and you gave me the time of day to just be me. And there was an idea, and it belongs to this man right here. All he ever wanted was to have a space where people could come and watch and talk and just be themselves, to be accepted for who they were. And I am so happy to have been the first person to have stuck around and genuinely felt that way when playing with you. Because I've never had that prior to us meeting and you making me laugh and allowing me to be myself. I was allowed, given the opportunity to be loud and expressive of what I loved of comic books and pop culture. I told you about my
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. I got to tell you my favorite memory of my dad when it came to comic books and Captain America specifically. And I got to tell you the origins of my nerdiness and how that came to be. And I didn't have any fear of being open about that part of me because prior to that, I didn't get that opportunity. So I'm just happy to have been the first to have been accepted in a larger pantheon of individuals that may come and come and go. But I always love that specific memory because it always leads to the larger picture and the like the big I guess, punchline of a really good joke was that
Yeah.
we shouldn't get along, but because of him giving me that chance and giving me the time of day, I was capable of just feeling myself.
Yeah.
There you go.
I did my best, and I love that memory too. And that was the day, that was the day that I found, and it really, anyone who wants to pull out the argument that video games are antisocial and video
Oh
games
God.
waste your life away, you do not come at
That
me with
sounds so
that
dumb.
argument, because I will pull the soapbox that you stand on right out from under your feet because you have no factual evidence for anything that you're saying.
Unlike us.
I
For
I
real, bro.
have
That shit's
my
real.
I have made and found my best friend
Hallelujah.
in this game,
Yeah.
and
For
we've
real.
had some serious ups and downs in this game,
Oh, that the truth.
and we've made friends, we've lost friends,
We've made
we've had
enemies.
emotional breakdowns
Woo.
over this game.
Tell me more.
We have been so mentally confused as to how we feel about this. I'll speak for myself. I have had such a love for this game and love for what I've experienced here. I had no cognitive understanding of when I burnt out so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept playing. I was absolute garbage at this game after everything I'd been through, and it got to the point where I was completely disassociating from my best friend and what he was trying to tell me. He was trying to look out for me when I had completely burnt out on this, and even then I was shutting him out.
I
And
might cry.
it came to that head. It came to the point where we had to jump into a different game, and he had to explain to me what he was experiencing. Because it got to the point where he didn't feel comfortable talking to me anymore.
Real talk.
He didn't feel
Yeah.
comfortable
That
being
was our
around me
lowest point
anymore.
to date right
That
now.
was the absolute
Yeah.
lowest point we've ever had, and it got to the point where we took a break from the game and we played somewhere else, and he sat and talked to me. It was like I did not feel comfortable talking to you anymore. He's like, and you were like one step, like you could have asked me to shut the door, and I would have been more happy to shut the door on you because you were not my friend anymore. And it was just completely eye-opening. Like I'd had
Yeah.
some anxiety and stuff about where I
Oh
was
my
at in my
God.
life at that
That's
point.
right. I did say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, dude, you were
Oh
like,
my God.
you're like, I'm
Yeah.
not going anywhere, but if you asked me to leave, I'd be more than happy to shut the door because you are not my friend
Mhm.
anymore.
Mhm.
And it's like, and that was what really kicked me in the
Yeah.
pants. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened? I was like, when did it get to this point? What happened? And then
I pulled
I
up
was
the
trying,
facts.
yeah, and it was funny
I
because
pulled out
I
the
could talk to
receipts.
him. Yeah, because all I had to do was ask him when a certain season in this game happened, what month of the year that happened, and then I had to figure out what happened to me in my life in that month.
Yeah.
It turns
And
out I had a
yeah.
bunch of life stuff after I had moved to a different state. I had a whole ton
Mhm.
of just
Yeah.
nitpicky shit about changing careers, and I didn't get to look for a house as soon as I wanted, so I had to be at my new job for like a year, and I was
Yeah.
living with a stuck-up relative at that point who was just real picky about landlord stupid shit, and she's not a landlord, so it was like
Yeah. That's
we would have
conflicting.
me and my wife were very stressed at that time, and one event happened during a day, and my anxiety spiked so hard.
Yeah.
And I had disassociated so much at that point, I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
And then when he sat down and talked to me, it was like, this is what I'm seeing. This is how I'm seeing you. And I want you to just be better. It's like, and
Yeah.
I just want to know what's going on. It's like, if you want to cut me out at some point, go for it. It's like, but I'm not going anywhere. And
Yeah.
that was enough for
Oh
me to
man, that
just
real
sit and
talk.
think about what happened. And I was like, holy fuck. And I have not
Yeah.
played this game since.
Yeah, bro. That's
I
so
walked away
true,
from
bro. That's
this.
right.
I walked
I
away from this,
completely
and I have
forgot. I
not
almost
played
told
that
you off
since.
there too. Yes. That's
Yeah,
right.
no, I walked away. I walked away from this game because, and I was talking to my wife about this a little bit earlier, but it's that if any of you have seen that clip where Johnny Depp is on the stand and they're like, "Have you done any opioids since you stopped?"
Since he stopped.
And the look on his face is just, he's like, "No, I can't." It's like, cause
Dude, that is such a hard
once
watch, bro.
he's
Ugh.
it really is, and he's just like, because once you've been bitten, you will be bitten again.
Yeah, bro.
Like, so I
Fuck.
can't even go. I can't even.
No, man. Like,
I can't even tempt that water, and it's like, and I feel that way. When I have sat back, I haven't been in this game. I have not ran around. I haven't done
no.
anything like that since this moment, since
I
tonight.
checked this man. I
But-
want you guys to know this.
Yeah.
I check this
Yes.
man regularly.
He checks on my PlayStation status. But
I do,
have
I'm no joke.
I have not been in this game since tonight. And
I-
every time
yeah, dude.
since I quit, every time I've thought about memories of playing in those later times, it has actually made my stomach do a quick twist. And it's like, nope.
Oh,
It's like I can't. It's
You
like,
get physically
can't
sick,
jump
that's
back into
right.
that. Yeah, and I don't
that's
like
right.
that.
No.
And this game, I have put so much time and energy, psychological, emotional, physical energy into this game.
Fuck yeah, we did.
And yes, we did. And it's all over our YouTube. I highly recommend all of you go watch all of our all the ones that are
Hell
labeled Mario
yeah.
Brothers. They're amazing.
World's
And they
finest,
end.
brother. Yeah.
World's finest. Yep, that too. We've
That
got
shit's
some
fire.
crazy ones as Monsters of the Outlands.
Oh,
my goodness.
yeah, dude.
We had like
Oh,
3 or 4 different duo teams that we ran in this game, and it was such a good time.
for
But
real.
I don't have a regret at all walking away from this, because that was the first time I'd ever actually experienced it in myself, and this is showing what the effects of a video game can do to you. If it turns into a vice to cover up your anxiety, it'll make something spike at some point, and you'll hurt someone in the game or you'll hurt someone in your real life, and you are in my real life, mind you, but you're playing with me in the game.
Yeah.
And I'm either going to hurt you or I'm going to hurt someone in real life, and that's all from anxiety that you haven't handled yet, but this game is masking for you. And that's any game. It's
Yeah!
not just Apex Legends.
Real!
But Apex Legends was masking mine. And that is
Real.
what I'm just here to talk about that. It's like that's the end point. That is why we're here to talk about why we came into this game and the great things that we experienced here. The best friends.
Yeah.
The best friend I got out of this.
Hell
And we
yeah.
had friends as well, but we had to cut those people out. Those people.
Ooh,
were
we'll
being
get to that
very
eventually.
toxic. Yeah, we will. But I walked
Real.
away from this entire experience
Real.
with the best friend I've ever had in my life.
Amen. For real. Me
And I'm
too, man.
30
I love
years
you.
old. I am
Shit, I'm
30
hyped.
years old, and I have the best friend that I have ever had in my entire life right here in this lobby with me, and we are
Yeah.
talking about our experience in this game. And it's because of this game. That doesn't make the
Real.
game great. We're going to loop around to that.
Hell yeah.
But we
Dude, you
are
made me
here
cry.
because
Fuck you, man.
We are.
Real
we are
talk, bro.
best-
That's real.
We are best friends
Man.
because we met here.
Bro, fuck best friends. We're family. What do you mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
what the hell?
we'll go there.
No,
we'll
man,
go
this
there.
guy, look, I tell him every other time, like every other month or every other day, that he's like my older brother, man. Like, he's like straight up, your family, bro. Like, I had this conversation, real talk. Real, this is all real. This really happened. I went up to
Yeah,
my
I know.
lady, I went up to my girl, and I was like, look, if Justin isn't my best man at our wedding, we're not having a wedding. Just straight up.
It's not happening.
And then she's like, okay, fine, but like, I need my, like, she jokingly referred to her best friend as my Justin, quote unquote. And I'm like, you're Justin? Oh, you mean Jessica? It's like, yeah, I want her to be my best man. And I'm like, they can share that role. And they're like, and she,
They'll
my
share it.
girlfriend was like, my girl was like, hell yeah! I was like, yeah! And then we got really hyped, and it was really awesome, and then we made out. But like, my point is, it was really cute, man. So like,
Yeah.
so eventually that will come to be once we get a thing set up. But like, my point is, he's totally right. Like, we did really go through a lot. Personally speaking for myself, we'll get to it eventually. But like, there was like a point where I went really hardcore. Justin knows this firsthand because he was there. I
Yeah.
went so hardcore that I went through a couple meltdowns. For real, that really happened. It cost me a significant portion of my own physical and mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, like you already went off, but everything you said
Yeah.
was what I wanted to say, so we're good. If did you wanna cover questions of our mid year, our mid careers? Like I'm thinking when I say mid careers, I'm thinking like 3 to like Mario Brothers in season 5. Well, how?
Well, yeah, we can kick off. We'll let people know what the teams that we made.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah, yeah. Do
and
that.
this
You
was
you you do
really
that. You do that. You do
I
that.
yeah I could do this. At some point that was in season 5. We'd
Yes.
established
Hell
our
yeah. This is
we'd
my favorite
established our
season.
team. We'd established our team
Woo!
really solid early on. Like
Yeah.
we had Team Retro, we had a trio going on. We had a couple people who would swap in as our third every once in a while. We had a good
Mm.
time and stuff like that. But we had a fallout shortly around that time, around season 5,
Yeah, like
and
tail end of 4, early 5
early
ish.
5, yeah.
Like
So it
opening
was
2 months, roughly,
yeah.
give or take.
So it was getting kind of rocky there, and then we
Yep.
ultimately had to cut some people out because it was a very unhealthy dynamic we had
If
going
I could
on.
just interject really quickly,
Go for it.
the reason why we had to leave, I'll speak for myself because I don't think Justin or I don't think you would ever like speak up on it, but I will because my filter
Okay.
is gone right now.
Go for it.
Real talk. The reason why I personally, I'm speaking for myself, walked away was because not only did they bash both of our respective play styles, but they had the absolute nerve to insult the Agent Retro, my best friend. They insulted Justin to his face with me in the room. I'll never forget it. It was so rude. I won't, because I know it's a trigger for you, so I won't say what they said. But I got so pissed that I had to walk away because I knew that if I spoke, everything would die. Like the world
Ragnarok
would
would
explode.
happen.
Ragnarok would
Ragnarok would
happen for
happen.
real. I know my temper, bro. I know myself better than anyone when I get angry. And I
Yeah.
was furious, dude. I was like, I'm out. I walked away. I didn't even tell anybody what was happening. And then I called this guy over. I was like, look, if you let them ever insult you like that again with me in the room, I'm throttling you and then defending you.
I'm gonna beat your ass and then beat you with your ass.
Real talk, dude. That's what I told this man. I said, I'm going to throttle you,
Uh,
but then I'm going to defend you in front of these people. I will do it. And you're just like, okay.
he's gonna be the guy who's got me by the ear bent half over and is pointing at them. You dare insult this man?
This man right here. No, because
bro,
like
this hurts.
it goes back to that first memory when we first met. This man gave me a chance. What more could a man like myself want? A geeky doofus who loves comics, who loves video games, and loves going to the theater every single day. At the time,
Yeah.
because COVID hadn't happened yet, but like at the time,
Yeah.
right? And then they had the nerve to insult you, bro. I'll never forget that shit. That's something I can't forgive. Unhealthy
Yeah.
as that is to say, it's real. Anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry, I had to
No,
say it.
no,
I had
that's
to
true.
get that off my chest.
Yeah, no, to sum that up, very toxic dynamic we had going on.
Toxic
But,
as being polite.
Sorry,
Sorry, I'm done. Apologize. Apologies.
No,
Apologies.
you're
Apologies.
good,
It's
you're
just
good.
real talk.
It
Anyway,
really
go ahead.
is. Yeah, real talk,
I'm
real
sorry.
feelings. But no, around the beginning of season 5, me and him started playing together. And it was
Hell
like,
yeah.
okay, so we felt a lot better, just kind of, for lack of a better way of putting it, cutting the weight. Cutting the
Yeah.
fat.
Trimming the
Um,
fat. Yes, I love
Yeah,
that. We'll
trimming
do
the fat,
that.
that's the term.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we started playing together, and we started just kind of working with our dynamic and our play styles and stuff, and seeing what worked.
I
And
love
in
it.
season,
I have the biggest
what?
smile on my face.
You Could you just date for me real quick when you picked up crypto? Was that mid season
Um,
3?
mid-season, tail end of season 3. Like, give me, I'll give you a time frame. Like the last 2.5 months.
Ah, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah,
so it's like the last half of season 3.
like
Quick
Kings Canyon
question on
After Dark.
Sagittarius.
Like the first
Okay,
one, like the
yep,
first one.
yep. First
Kings
Halloween.
Canyon,
Yeah, that
yeah,
was
that
yeah,
was
so that
it.
was yeah, probably tail end of season
Yeah,
3, close to it, if not.
about
How
2
are
weeks
you
prior to
opening face with
to that
tears of
one.
joy?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
just
yeah,
prior to that.
this
Yeah,
guy had pretty much mastered his Bangalore pretty quick.
you're being too nice
But
to me.
yeah, but no, he picked up crypto around that time
Oh,
and was
I'm a
starting to get
Gemini,
really good with
Rose.
him.
There you go. Sorry, Rose was
He's
talking.
a Gemini. He's a Gemini. I'm a Scorpio, just for the record.
We should hate each other,
Another. We
theoretically,
really,
but hey.
according to the horoscope of the stars and the universe and the planets and all that good stuff, we should genuinely despise the existence of each other. But we don't. We defy the odds in every sense of the term.
It's true.
But no, like this guy picked up crypto. I was still a hardcore Mirage main, still learning and still getting better. But yeah, season 5 rolled around, and I don't. It was like a meme. I don't know if you made it or if someone posted it and then you remade it so that you could show me
Yeah,
'cause you couldn't find it.
that's what happened. Yeah,
That
someone
got it.
posted it. It got lost in the feed. I loved it so much. I remade it and sent it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a picture of the skins that came with Crypto and Mirage for the was it the collection event for that season? Season
Battle
5?
Pass and collection event. Yeah,
Yeah, because I think Mirage's was in the Battle Pass and then Crypto's
Yep.
was in the collection event. Okay.
that's right.
But yeah, no, in both of those skins, that whole theme for that season was like conquistador,
Lost treasures,
lost
tomb
treasures
raiding,
kind of stuff. Yeah,
Indiana
so they were very
Jones type shit. Yeah.
steampunky, sophisticated treasure hunter kind of look.
Yeah.
So Mirage was rocking like a full beard with like a nice curly, nice manicured mustache. And
Real.
Crypto was rocking just this little like chin thing and this really pampered mustache look. And those skins both had their own colors naturally coordinating. You had Mirage with some red and some gold in there, and then you had Crypto's, which was a nice kind of it had like a cream color main coat to it, and then it had some gold, silver, and mainly green accents to it. So with those pictures of those characters, they were side by side with Mario and Luigi, and it was just like, I don't see a difference here. That was like the meme. And it was like, same
Yeah,
picture.
basically,
Same
yeah.
Picture. It was like, I
Same
don't see a
picture,
difference.
yeah, real talk.
Yeah. So that's where that came from. November. Yeah, I just make the Scorpio mark. But yeah, no, in
Wow.
that with that on our minds, no, we were playing one night and we were just talking about that. And this guy's
We
a big
really
nut for
hammed
fan
it up.
fiction.
Yeah,
so this guy,
baby,
this
yes,
guy
I was gonna say it.
He was loving that fan fiction, so he really was talking a backstory for these characters, and I was just eating it up because I love Mario and Luigi, and I loved all these characters being relatable, and it was super fun. And so we were eating it up, and we had a crazy match. If you guys go watch that, it's our Super Mario Brothers Apex Edition. It's the first one, so you'll
Yes.
go all the way to the beginning, and
So
that's
good.
our first one. It's
So
still mind blowing
good.
to this day. Like there's like 4 or
The
5
fact that we
different cuts in
won,
that
bro.
video.
The fact that
Oh
we
my
fucking
God,
won.
dude.
We should have died so many times.
Mind-blowing. And it's one of the instances where it's an exception because we actually did have our teammate at the end. Because most of our Mario Brothers after that were just you and me. But at the end of
Yeah,
that, we
basically, yeah.
did have our third at the end of that.
We
That was
even
our
set
first
up
one. It
rules,
kicked it
if I
off.
remember.
Yeah, after that one we did.
Yeah, we set up rules. They could only be a Mario Brothers if it's a duo in a trio
if
setting.
if it's a duo and a trios match, then that was the Mario Brothers.
We didn't even have to win. It would just have to be like us kind of getting far enough and really doing something intense and cinematic.
And just feeling satisfied with what we
Ourselves,
did. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If we pulled off some crazy shit, but we ended up like getting third or second, it was still worth it at the end of the day.
Oh hell yeah!
And we've
dude.
even
Hell yeah!
we've even won Mario Brothers that we didn't post because they were so lame. I remember players getting stuck under the map, and it was like, oh, well this.
That's right. Warp Zone or Warp World.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good one. As funny as it was actually pretty
Yeah,
dumb. Yeah, for real.
yeah. But no, like that's our thing. And in that first Mario Brothers, um, it's just I really can't explain it. Like it's really it just blows my mind at the end of it. Like there's a point at the end where you can hear it in our voice. Like we have resigned ourselves to the fact we are going to die, and our third, she's a Bangalorian, just comes
Yeah,
out of
bro.
nowhere and just picks us up, and we end up making a play at the end of that. It was amazing.
Yes. Oh my God, that's so true.
He's Crypto, I'm Mirage, so I would be Mario, he would be Luigi.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with being
So
player two, bro. Every time.
well, it was a very interesting change for me because I'm not used to being Mario. Fun fact, I'm gonna throw you guys back to when I was 17.
Mm.
Me and my brother were actually dating sisters from a
Oh, I
from
love
a
this story.
church over town over, and we actually got them T-shirts because they were goofing around with Mario and Luigi at some point, and it was like, oh, we've got Mario and Peach because my brother was dating a blonde, and then I was dating a brunette. So it was obviously Peach and
crazy.
Daisy. So that works out that way. I didn't like being Luigi because I already felt second shoe to my brother, but I digress. He was Mario in that instance, and I was Luigi. So it's funny that this flips that on the coin in this scenario. What,
Unreal.
13 years later? So
Yeah. Holy shit.
yeah, so that was funny. But no, like so yeah, that match is amazing, and that kicked off our whole duos thing. And that was our very first team, our Mario Brothers. If you see anything labeled Mario Brothers on our YouTube channels, those are definitely a really good watch. No,
So
that's all
good.
good. But yeah, no. After that, we had a handful of Mario Brothers before our World's Finest kicked in. When our World's Finest was
World's Finest took place around season 6.
seasons. Yeah, the next season. Yeah.
Yeah, give or take, like tail end of 5, early 6, around that time. Which I really love that eventually happen because,
Yeah, I'll let you take that
um,
one if you want to talk about World's Finest.
oh, if you don't mind, yeah,
Yeah, no, go for it.
World's Finest really holds a special place in my heart because, there was a time where, or Agent Retro here, I was having a rough go with Mirage. He just wasn't
Very
feeling it, and abilities weren't popping off at the time. His ultimate wasn't going good, and at the time his Mirage's ultimate was a little rough, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember feeling, just to interject, I
Oh,
remember
absolutely.
feeling with being, I was already in a slump with him. Like I wasn't popping off. I wasn't feeling very good with the abilities at that time. I was having a low point with him, and actually, now that I think about it, this would be a point where the tier list actually affected me. Tier
Oh,
lists are
that's right.
stupid, by the way. You need to stop talking about Apex tier lists. Everybody plays the legends differently. These legends are
Yep.
subjective. Shut your face.
Yeah, for
Anyway.
real.
At this
No,
point,
no, it's true.
I was having a point where the tier list was affecting me because I had thought about it in a way of effectiveness in helping my team.
Oh
And
no.
I was like,
Oh
oh,
no.
wait. I was like,
Really?
is there a way that I could actually help my team
Oh no.
more with the abilities of someone else? And that was a
Thanks for
moment where we
stopping
were
by,
talking
guys.
about that. Yay! Thanks for swinging by.
Thank you.
But yeah, at that point, I was like, could I be doing better with someone else? And
Oh my
I
God.
think this was probably doing better for the team with someone else. And I was just like, okay. So I remember, was this the first time I brought up Bloodhound at like 3 in the morning?
Yeah. 2 in the morning. Yes.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
working night shift at that time, and I remember just bringing this. I texted him this question about whether I should pick up Bloodhound or not, and I didn't expect him to get it as soon as he did because he got it as soon as I sent it, and I was just like, okay, I'll send it now, and he'll see it in the morning. He texted me while I was awake at work. And he woke up from a dead sleep and was like, "Oh,
When he
hell
says
no, I
dead
need to
sleep,
talk to him."
bro, I read that freaking message. I zombified and came to life, bro. I was like,
He's like,
no,
I've got
no,
a
no.
fucking book for you, dude.
Give me 20
Oh,
seconds. I'll explain
yeah.
why this is a horrible idea.
Go, you take it from there.
Okay, the funny thing is, bro, I actually still have my response to you. I have it saved in my phone, but I don't know if I'll find it in time. But
Oh man,
the
so
point
funny.
is, Justin comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, listen, rough patch, doesn't feel good. What if I picked up Bloodhound?" And I remember just reading that, and I was like, "No,
No.
this it like not in the sense that like you couldn't do it, bad idea, fuck you. No, it
It's
was
the wrong
like
reason. It's the wrong reason.
it's like I found it. Holy shit!"
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna read parts of it. I'm not gonna read the whole thing.
Mhm.
Oh no, that wasn't it.
Oh
Sorry,
no, that's
guys.
alright.
I thought I
It's
had
alright.
it.
No,
Hold
it's
on. Essentially, what? Well, if I find it, I'll find it. But if I
yeah.
don't, hey, whatever.
It was
Um,
essentially just giving me like a reality check and just making sure I was looking at all my ducks as to why
yeah,
I made that decision versus making an impulse decision.
yeah, but yeah. Essentially, yeah. I wanted him to know that going from Mirage to Bloodhound would be probably one of the biggest reality checks that he would have on his own, just picking those characters,
Yeah,
right? Like
for
going from
me,
one
it
to the
was going to
other.
be a completely, from my playstyle at the time, it was a completely different playstyle just to make the abilities work for me and the team.
Yeah,
It
no,
would have been a
absolutely.
completely different playstyle for me. And I didn't really
Um,
take that into account at the time, and he definitely let me know that.
no, I remember just ripping into you. I was like, dude, like you can't just go from one play style to a completely
First,
different thing.
first of all, you woke me the
Um,
fuck up. You're gonna get it. Super honest here.
no, and it was just like you're going from at the time you were kind of riding the middle and the rear of the team, and picking Bloodhound at least at that time, for like the meta and whatever, you would either have to lead us in and or be in the middle for pushing
Mhm.
squads and whatever. So I was like, he doesn't really do either one of those things right now, and I would like I told you, I was super honest and I was like, look, I would rather you find out what's wrong with you and Mirage and like get couples counseling and really fix that shit
Yeah.
before you venture forward with a high skill cap character that you
Yeah.
haven't even touched yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, you really have to stop and consider the fact that when you play as Bloodhound with anyone besides me, you're gonna have to meet a certain expectation,
Yeah.
right? And I myself have high expectations for someone who plays Bloodhound, but
Mhm.
I played with you,
Couples
so
counseling face with
I
tears of fear.
understand where you are
Yeah.
at, your current level and everything. So I told him, I was like, look, I have my expectations, but I'm willing to taper myself down a little bit to sort of work with you. But
Mhm.
anyone else you play with will destroy you.
Yeah.
So stop, look, and listen at what's wrong with what you have right now and work on it.
Mhm.
That's all I said to this man. Um, from there, just to sort of add a little note, just so we're all on the same page, I had some family stuff go down. I won't talk about it here, but it was really intense, and I had to walk away from the game. I had to walk
Mhm.
away from everybody who I was friends with at the time while playing Apex. That includes Justin, Agent Retro, and some other people that we were playing with at the time. And I didn't come back for a while. Like I didn't come
Yeah.
back until um, this particular moment in time happened in season three, tail end. This conversation I'm having with him at 2 in the morning, and I didn't come back technically until the collection event in season four. So anyway, go ahead. Yeah, that's all you.
Uh, Actually, it's you. You were talking about World's Finest.
Oh shoot, is it me? Oh shoot, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
anyway,
you're good.
sorry. So no, he's definitely right. That
That's my
whole thing
origins. That's my
happened.
origins to picking up Bloodhound. Like I wanted to at
Exactly.
some
That's
point, but I was not ready to pick up Bloodhound.
and I was just being deadly honest, like, cause like I
Mhm.
made him a promise very early on. Like we didn't mention this in the beginning era of our Apex careers, but I made him a promise because of how honest he was with me and being really accepting of what I do here, and who I was. I told him, I made him a promise that I would never, ever bullshit him. Ever. I
Yeah.
would never make an excuse for anything. And if I did, and I've discovered within myself that I had, I would come clean. So
Yeah.
that's where that honesty comes from with Bloodhound, and that conversation we had at 2 in the morning. But going back into season 6 and really going into developing that team, he wanted to go Bloodhound, and I was like, "You have my blessing because you're basically ready at this point." Because at the time, his Mirage was flawless, guys. Like this was a guy running away from a fight at the beginning of his career as Mirage to
I
not
have a
only.
video. I have a
That's true.
video.
So true, bro.
I have a
Anyway,
video that's I tried to reach a milestone with each of the characters I did here, and if I reach a match where I'm playing by myself and I feel 100% like I am in it, I'm doing everything I know to the best of my ability, and I come out on top and it's amazing, and I feel like I knew what I was doing,
real,
and I was.
real.
That's my peak. Like I have my I am Mario video, I have my I am
That's his
Superman
Mirage,
video.
bro. Yes.
I have.
You have your I am
I have,
Superman. You have a
I have my
Fusey
Superman.
one too, but I don't think we named it. I don't
I
remember.
don't. I don't remember that one.
The Fusey is your sniper one on the tower, Grow Towers in Olympus. That one. When you were just
Is
like,
it that one?
yeah, dude, are you kidding me? Dude
Ooh,
knocks down
I'm
two
trying to
teams
think.
in that video. I'm leaving it at that.
Oh,
Go watch that shit, bro. That shit's awesome.
do I really? Damn, I
You
haven't seen
knocked
that
two
one in a
teams.
while.
It's been a
I'm
while,
remembering
I'll
my
admit.
caustic one. I did get my caustic one.
Oh, did you really?
That was
Oh, with
that was
Cat.
Cat
With
on
Cat, the
Stormpoint.
last season.
Yeah,
Yes.
yep. That
That
was
was
with Cat on
fire.
Stormpoint. That one was amazing.
Real talk,
But
he
yeah.
saved my ass. And that doesn't happen very often, but when it does,
No,
it feels
doesn't.
good.
He's over here
It feels
saving my
good.
ass. I am the one getting picked up off the ground 90% of the time.
But it feels good to have that
It
moment.
does.
When I look up at
Yeah.
him and he's lifting me up, I'm like, yes. This is how it's
What do you-
going. This is how
Well,
it's
you enjoy
going right
putting
now.
your ass on the ground. Let's go.
I love it so much every time, bro. Without there's no doubt in my mind that that's where we're supposed to be at. But for real, dude, like it's honest to God the greatest thing. If you want the highlight of his Mirage career, I highly recommend I Am Mario. There's a couple other ones that have like since then outdone that one, in my personal opinion. Homecoming.
Really?
Super Mario Homecoming is a really good Mirage video for him. Both of our perspectives are just amazing because when you see it from my perspective, you really see how heroic he is and how much of a team leader he's become since like day one till like that particular moment. There
Oh.
is one other one whose name presently escapes me, but oh, nuts. We are in Kings Canyon. We are in. We called it the pit. That weird, that little thing outside of bunker. I think it's actually called the pit. Anyway, we land in there. No, the game ends in there, and I fall behind. I get knocked. I get so sad because like I was really trying to help out the team. I get knocked. This dude squad wipes and wins us the game, and I'm just like, this man really just did that.
Bro, if you find that, you need to, you need to
I'm
show me that.
I'm linking everything that I'm talking about, guys. Will be linked in the description. I promise you. I will have this list ready, and it will be sent.
Yes.
But again, that one I'm talking about is really good because not only does it really show how his movement has really come through and developed into something completely different. I start calling him the Illusionist Supreme because of how amazing his dupes are and how often he saved my ass moving forward from season 7 onward with his dupes. He saves me
Wait,
with just his
wait,
dupes,
wait.
and I freaking love it.
We have a video where my dupes actually unintentionally save him.
Yes, I believe that is a team
Blue
duo. No,
Boys.
Blue Boys.
Blue
That's
Boys?
the
Yeah.
one. That's literally
Yeah,
it.
that's
He
Team Duality
literally
Blue Boys.
saves me by putting out his Mirage dupes as clones, and they all took the damage for me as I'm lining up the last shot of the game. The only reason why we win is because he saved my ass by taking damage with his dupes. Guys, it's flawless. It's fucking amazing.
It's
This
amazing.
guy's a legend. Done. I'm done. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's done. But like for real, guys, like,
That's my
he's amazing.
mirage.
That's his mirage, man. That's just his mirage. I highly recommend
Yeah.
watching I Am Superman on his channel, on his YouTube channel. It's different on mine in terms of titling, but I Am Superman on his YouTube channel. It's amazing. That's his best, by far, one of his most amazing Bloodhound videos,
Oh my
if
god.
if not his greatest, because it really shows how like his adaptability has come through since day one till that present moment and going forward. It's amazing.
That one is a
Spoiler
favorite.
alert, just it's all Mozambique. It's amazing.
It's yeah, it's all Mozambique.
It's literally all Mozambique
It's
shots, bro. It's
amazing.
amazing.
I
Anyway,
went through a phase that I wish would have stuck, but they took the hammer points away, so it did not stick.
that's true, and they really
Oh my
nerfed that
god,
like
it
that poor
was
bastard.
oh, it was such a fun phase. I had so much fun hammer point Mozam.
Hammer point
Oh man.
Mozam. If I can like bolster the legend that is your Bloodhound, I've only ever seen one other person truly utilize the Mozambique to its fullest, and that was
Have
Alex.
you guys seen the Spitfire now?
Alex was the. I have actually, yes, Angel. I have seen the new Spitfire. I'm actually kind of impressed with it. Yeah, I have seen it, love it. It was my main weapon for like forever, till
Yeah.
present.
This
Um,
cycle ran two if he could.
I ran two. I believe you described me as a semi truck with a chain gun mounted on the front. Yeah, it was great.
Yep.
It's
This
all in
guy
the
would run
YouTube,
into
guys.
rooms and
It's
just
all there.
melt people. It was insane.
Oh man, I was a monster. I was a terrible
With a
person.
crypto.
With
I
a
could be a
crypto.
running dual Spitfires.
I was a terrible person. Everybody hated me. I got hate messages, no joke. But no, for real, guys. World's Finest is super special to me because of that 2 o'clock in the
Why did they
morning.
turn it into live? I have no idea.
That 2 o'clock in the morning reality check that I gave him, and then to see that bolster into such an incredible like secondary for you, like not even like 3 or 4 seasons later, in season
Yeah.
6. Oh man, it's just so beautiful to me because it was like it was meant to be in a lot of ways, a match made in heaven, if you will. Um, and with him taking his experiences as a Mirage main into a Bloodhound and becoming this incredibly pushy and almost violent Bloodhound, and having them paired up with my Bloodhound, my Bangalore, sorry, it really became a really intense and kind of a dirty fighting style for us to run, finding our
The first match that we actually pulled that off.
yeah, dude, that
Oh
was
my
sick.
god, we had scared a team. The last team, we had
That's right.
scared shitless. We pushed them back into the storm.
Two
because
of
he was
them-
smoking. He
Yeah.
was smoking and I was scanning. And
Oh.
they couldn't see us, but we could see them, and we had scared them back into the storm from the
What-
only path that they had
Do you
into
remember?
the circle.
Do you remember the Octane who got so
Octane.
scared and willingly took his own bounce pad into the
took
storm?
Yep,
I love
yep,
it.
He took his own bounce pad out into the storm. It was so
It was
funny.
amazing. Oh man, guys, you really need to watch some of these videos. They will all be linked in the description afterwards. But
It's
for
amazing.
real, yeah, we had this beautiful team, and it was the synergy was real. It was coming from a fully loaded experience as a Bangalore main to one that was like halfway there as a Mirage going into a Bloodhound, and then both of those characters combining into one beautiful freaking synergy as a Mirage and Bloodhound, and then just it was like lightning in a bottle. Could not have been more perfect. And I love World's Finest because every time you watch one of them, you can see how, especially in season 8, bro, like the pinch.
Oh man.
Whoo! Forget it, man. This guy was
Yeah.
like, I was running into this one team, bro, and then I remember I was about to say scan, and then before I could even scan, like breathe in that word, he already scanned. Fuck, and I was like, I love this man, dude, and we wiped teams, man. We were that was probably our most organized team I
Yep.
loved World's Finest because of how clean cut. It was like a scalpel, guys. Like it was just
Yep.
super clean. There was nothing that could go wrong. And if it did go wrong, we adapted. And that's because of him. If he could scan the enemies, forget about it. We were already ahead of the game at that point.
Oh, dude. And the funny thing is that was me actually capitalizing on something because once I got to know him and the more I got to know him, I figured out how he looked at the game, which
That's
is about
right. You got to tell them
70
this.
It was 70 to 85% more of the game that he was seeing every time he dropped in than I was. So naturally, when we started out, I was following his lead because clearly he was seeing stuff I wasn't seeing. So I was like, okay, so I'll kind of follow his lead and give him backup where I can. Once we got to playing together and we started adapting, I
Yeah.
got to know him better, and he shared with me more about what he sees in
Because
the, in the game.
I remember that conversation too. Yeah.
And there
Oh,
was a
sorry. Go
point-
ahead. Yeah.
It's okay. No, it's fine. Now, there's a point where we were still playing with someone from our toxic time, and it was after I had gotten to know him a little bit, and we had reached a
Yeah.
point where it was getting down to like the last 3 teams. And we were like, we were in a really quiet spot,
Oh.
and we were coming up the hill from the city
In World's Edge.
into Train Yard. And we had just pulled up to that peak, and we stopped. And I'm one who kind of scans around looking for movement anyway, but I hadn't seen or heard anything. And he does this thing where when it gets quiet, he starts running numbers in his
Yeah,
head. And he gets really quiet, and he starts calculating, and he's thinking about everything that happened prior to the game, because he sees where people drops, he sees where the circle's been going in, and he knows where people are rotating. I don't see any of that. So when I'm in here, and once I got to know him, I knew that whenever he got really quiet, he needs quiet. So I'm just like, I'm gonna stop running my mouth. I'll say what I see, but I don't see anything. But it's like he's calculating, and our teammate was just like, let's just run over this way. It's like, why do we go this way? And I'm just like, shh. It's like he's calculating. And she's like, we've done this circle a million times. It's rotated like this a million times. What's the? I was like, shh. He's calculating. And about 3 seconds after that, he comes up with something, and he says, an idea that he has. And it's just like, all right, let's run with it. He's got an idea. I was just like, so let's go. And it's like, because he's clearly seeing something that I don't, and I understand his brain is working differently than mine because he is seeing more. So I'm just like, okay, let's see where he's going. It's like, and we'll go. And he had formulated a plan throughout that whole thing, but in that last fight, our teammate did nothing. Essentially, she fought with you for a little bit, but at the end of that, which he tells me this at the end of this match, which is it's a little weird. I'm still a little salty about it, but he basically throws me.
I always apologize. I will always apologize for it. Because Justin didn't know, right? He doesn't know about this yet.
He throws me under the bus so he can pick me up, so he can get down, so I can get the game-winning kill, because that's how he sees that going. Because he has like this Doctor Strange thing, like the way he has seen that match go. Like,
I hate that he gets me so much right now.
The only reason he saw that we were gonna win that match was if I got the kill, because he knows me that well.
All right, y'all. I gotta step up and say something, right? Okay, look.
No, because
it's real. Look,
what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm actually wiping away tears, bro. Because like that fucking messed me up just now.
Dude.
Because like y'all, if get yourself a friend like Agent Retro, bro. Like this man pays attention to you, bro. Fuck. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get emotional, but like that shit's for real.
You don't get a friend like me without a friend like me going through years of not getting a friend like me. So
I mean, that's for real. That's true, man. Like, no, look, he's right. I have something up here in my noodle that it ain't right, right? So I see things differently. Like it's hard to explain, but I explained it to him. I'm gonna explain it to you guys the same way I did it to him.
I'm gonna interrupt you.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with your brain. Your
Fair
brain
enough.
is different.
You know what? You're right.
Nothing up in your brain that is messed up. Your brain is different than someone else's brain. Not everyone's brain. Your brain is different than someone else's brain. Every single person's brain is different from someone else's brain.
That's fair.
It does not make it a bad brain. It does not make it wrong. It makes it different and unique. We are accepting everyone exactly the way they are.
That's
You, good
fair.
sir, have a miraculous brain. I
Oh my
can't even
goodness.
wrap my brain. I could stretch my brain on a taffy puller, and I
Oh
still would not
God.
be able to wrap it around the concept of what goes on in your brain.
That sounds painful, but I understand where you're going with this. No,
It's
for
a
real.
metaphor.
No, for real. No, he's totally right. Um, no, thank you for that. I
Ah,
appreciate that because real talk, it's hard sometimes to describe it. But like I
yeah.
said, I'll describe it to you guys the same way I described it to him. Picture a TV. It doesn't matter what type of TV it is. Picture a TV. Now picture your favorite movie. For this particular explanation that I gave him, I picked a movie that we both understood and both knew front to back, no issues. I picked Back to the Future. Now, I told
Yes.
him to
Flawless
picture
classic.
the beginning of the film with Marty going through the garage, plugging in the guitar, and that part. And then I told him to picture overlapping that scene, the scene of him having already gone back to the future, having gone back to the past, sorry, going back to the past, and fallen out of the tree and getting hit by his mother's car. And that's overlapping the beginning introductory scene, and it's like cloudy, it's foggy, it's like all that shit. And then on top of both of those scenes, I told him to picture the moment where the bully character is harassing Marty's mom, for the lack of a better term, and the father character comes in, saves the day. I told him that I see every single match of Apex Legends just like that. I see the beginning, middle, and end. The problem is I can't see the solution to getting us a victory without information. Now, what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you. When it comes to information, my brain runs through it like butter, like a hot knife through butter. I consume a lot of information, details, even the most minuscule, tiniest detail ever. I'll catch it. When we are dropping out of the dropship, I look at everyone's dive trails and where they land. Why? I couldn't tell you. My brain just does it. It happens. I don't know why. It happens. But
Yeah.
I can tell you why they're landing there. Because I've landed there too, and I know where all the sweet stuff is. Blue armor, purple armor, gold armor, whatever. The rotations of these armors are different every season, but they're not all that unique. Point being, knowing where they are every season kind of helps me out because then I know
Yeah.
why you're there.
Yeah.
Anyway, depending on where we land, I can tell him, when I say him, I mean Justin, Agent Retro. I can
Yes.
tell him exactly how many teams are going to surround us at a given moment. My particular favorite moment of him knowing this information, we land in map room, and he specifically asks me to do the thing, quote unquote, do the thing. And that why what he means by that is to look at my map, pull up the map, look at it, look at where we are, and then predict where every other team is. And when I told him that, he hit the scan button in Map Room to scan the entire map, and I got an 88.9% accuracy as to where everyone was on the map. Just because
Yep.
I was able to tell where everyone landed by their dive trails.
Hmm.
I don't know how, I just do it.
It is a very intense, accurate information retention.
Yeah.
Like
There
you
was
you
like what was
retain
that thing
information
that happened
very
in
well.
season 4 where you're like, you need a grenade, you need a grenade, and I was like, I'll be right back, and I disappeared, and I came back with a thermite and I threw it, and we kind of clutched it a little bit, and then when you went back to look at my footage, there was like a very brief and very blurry image of me passing by an open crate loot box thing where a thermite was in, and you told me that you had to pause in order to see what the blur was, and you saw that it was a thermite, and then when you told me to go get a grenade, I go back to the exact same box and pick up the exact same thermite.
Yeah.
Why? Because I remembered it was there
Yeah.
5 minutes after the fact.
Yeah.
Point being, I see a lot and I retain a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I just kind of do
Yeah.
it.
It's just how your brain
So
works.
back to this particular moment in time that he's talking about, where our teammate kind of gave him some sass and gave me some sass, because we've done this ring 100 times. What's the difference? Well, I for a fact knew that there was a team behind us. As to where they were, I couldn't tell them because she was a kind of a chatterbox. She liked to talk, and thusly I couldn't hear a lot of the noise that they were making. We get up the hill, and at that point, I kept telling him, at the moment that we got into the city, to the point where we got up to that hill, I was like, there's a team behind us. I can't see them, but I know that they're there. He goes silent to allow me a moment's peace so I could actually talk and talk myself through it. And he hears me doing the math as to where everyone should be, technically, theoretically, including the team that was in the city. And then he shushes her, as he says, which is true. I can confirm it. I will link that as well if I can find it.
There too, yep.
And he shushes her. This pisses her off beyond belief. And
we know that for a fact too.
We know for that for a fact, yeah. And she gets mad. She goes silent for almost the majority of the majority of that match.
Yeah.
Like the rest of that match, she's basically silent. And I see, like, I was like, okay. I remember speaking up and being like, there's a team in Train Yard, definitely in the high cars that like used to hang up there.
Yeah.
And there's going to be another team behind that rock. And I pinged it. And the other team is either still behind us walking in, or they're already here and we're fucked. And then I turned around. I shit you not. Within 10 seconds of me having finished that description of what was going to happen, that team that was behind us walked right in.
Walked right in, yeah.
And I pinged it. I was like, they're here. Teammate turns around, starts shooting her gun, scares them off. They disappear. I lost information. Kind of screwed us over. No big deal, because Agent Retro was on the scene. He comes in and he's like, we have to move here, right? And I was like, that's probably our best course of action. We have the most cover there. Let's go. Stay out of line of sight. Do not let when I say the card team, I'm talking about the guys that are up in the rafters in those floating cars that were strung up in Train Yard. So I was like, stay away from the card team. Don't get in the line of sight, because if they see us, they will move on us. We hid behind cover. There was a team far end of that particular section behind a rock, and they started opening fire on the card team, and the card team opened fire on them. The team that was behind us from the city moves in, long right side, and starts engaging the rock team. And I was like, we'll pepper them, but don't give us away. If we have to move up, you tell me, I'll tell you if it's okay. And then we basically moved up like chess. Like we moved up in certain directions, but never too far, but just enough.
Yeah.
Moving on, we eventually get to a point where I decided on a factor. Agent Retro has a very intense hero complex where he needs to help his team. He wants to help his team. Shut up. He wants to help his team, and he wants to be of service. Because if he doesn't help, it'll eat him up inside.
Just a little bit.
It's a little bit, but it's enough that he'll think about it, and he'll bring it up in an email later. The next day. He's like, could I have done something differently here? And I'm like, yes, you could have, but it's fine. And I reassure him. I always do. My point being, I knew if this man got knocked down and I picked him up and I got knocked down, and teammate obviously guarantees us a knockdown, that she gets knocked down,
Yeah.
that he will do everything, and I mean everything in his power, to be of service. And I knew that because I just know him well enough to know.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I walked away from the fight. I guaranteed our teammate to go down. I walked in as Agent Retro goes down, picked him up, ran away from the fight, got picked off intentionally. He gets up, he knocks down the first guy, then the last guy, and gets us the game-winning kill. Why? Because I knew him well enough to know that even though he had a Tic Tac's worth of health left and a fully loaded magazine in his gun, that he would fight tooth and nail like the devil was chasing him. And that he would overcome that devil. And guys, I guarantee you he did. I can testify that this man fought with everything that he had. and
I got
he
the
won us the
game-winning
game.
kill with an evil long shot.
It was amazing.
Like, it's crazy.
Hearing that, bah, bah, so satisfying.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah,
tell you,
oh.
when he tells you he knows me well enough to know that I'm looking at everything, it's the truth. Because I can guarantee you that I know him well enough to know that he will never not be reliable. Like, he's amazing. He's the most reliable person I know. Even if he, like I said, if he has 0 health, he will find a way. And he usually does.
And I don't know if you had a gold backpack or not. You picked me up with like nothing. And I stood up and tried to shoot
Did I
somebody.
throw it away? Maybe. I don't know.
You motherfucker!
I don't know. Someone go look at the footage. I don't know. I don't remember. It was
Uh,
like 6 or 7 seasons ago. I don't know.
Mr. Information Retention over here playing
I don't know what you're
stupid.
talking. No, he's blowing out his ass, man. I don't know what he's talking about, man. All that smoke.
Anyway, I'm gonna bring this back a little bit because we never actually told people what our world's finest team was.
Mm.
Our
That's,
world's finest team is actually Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
That is a play
So
on the
good.
world's finest
Comic
line.
books. Hell yeah.
Comic books of Superman and Batman. He is Batman due to his incredible
Broody nature.
lethal usage of his smoke.
Hell yeah.
And I'm Batman because I'm Superman because I see all. You know.
Yeah, with his scanning ability, X-ray vision.
My scanning,
It's
my
funny.
bloodhound
It
scanning
works.
ability. It works. Definitely one of the most pristine duo teams that we had.
Highly recommend.
Very,
Every time.
very clean, very high caliber. What did we run? Did we run monsters after that?
I believe. Yes, actually, that's correct. I believe. Yeah.
Was that monsters? That was
That
Bangalorian
was
Fuse.
Fuse. Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was great. I really liked that one because it was very long range for the both of us. I used the smoke to blind
Yeah.
people. He'd hit them with the cluster bombs, stick them if he was lucky enough to get them like right next to each other. It
Yeah.
was perfect. It was
Oh
great.
man, I had sticking fests, dude.
Oh,
I had
dude.
matches where I would
On
just,
his first
I would
match.
I would start using those as my go-to. That was like my fight response. If someone was in front of
Oh,
me,
yeah.
I would quick stick them with my tactical,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
100%.
it would scare the
Vouched,
shit out
vouched.
of people.
It was awesome. It would scare people
Oh,
like
man.
right out of formation, and that's
Yep.
where I come in, baby.
It was like
that's
it was
where
like
I
a
come in.
beehive. It was like hitting someone with a beehive. Like if you threw
Oh,
a
real
beehive
talk,
at someone
yeah.
and they caught it, like
Yep.
if they were trying to shoot anything, they would like drop everything and like
Yep.
panic. It was exactly like chucking a beehive at someone.
It was real.
It was
Honestly, that's
so
the best way
fun
to
to
describe
watch.
it. Real talk. No, it was super satisfying, dude.
Oh,
Like
man.
I really loved Monsters because it was really you coming into your own, and sort of like establishing a point man vibe,
Yeah.
where you could actually lead and not only lead us but like really retain the designation of point man by like scouting with your sniper rifle or your repeater because you had a repeater for a brief period
I
and you
did
would
have
scout
a
ahead.
repeater spell.
Yeah, it was great. Again, just like his G7 spell, flawless. I loved the shit out of that.
I love my G7 spell.
It was great, dude. It was amazing. Honestly, again, personally speaking, and just like really hyping you up, your G7 spell was like fucking awesome. Like I wish I was that good. It's flawless, guys. Flawless. If you can find these videos, guys, you won't be disappointed. But yeah,
anything we had time to clip and post, it was
out
amazing.
there. It's out
We
there.
had such a good time.
Real talk, guys. If I could point out one of my favorites, the Quick and the Rad.
Yes,
That is
was
my
fun.
Octane and his Fuse. One of the pushiest teams, if not the pushiest team we've ever had.
It was just pure chaos.
It was a
That's
mess.
exactly what it was.
If you guys watched his recent Ghost Recon Wildlands stream, there's like a point where I'm like, let's just go loud, and you're like, not again. And then I was
That's
just like,
exactly what.
that is exactly what Quick and the Rad was all about. It was me just fucking throwing
I would
out.
stop moving for 2 seconds. It's like, where should we go? He's already
I've been
halfway
going
there
back
up
and
the
watching
hill.
your
He
RE
never
videos.
stopped moving, and he never stopped stimming.
Oh, thank you, Angel. I really appreciate you doing that. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. No, but he's definitely right. I wouldn't stay still for like not even a heartbeat, dude. Like I
He
was
did.
gone, and
He
he
did. If
hated
he
it.
had his
But
jump pad, he was throwing it.
oh yeah, I never let
Oh
him
my
sit still
God.
either. When he was like,
No.
"I need to catch up to you," I'm like, "Dude, there's like already 2 bounce pads back there. Like, go ahead, just catch up. It's all good. I'll meet you there."
Fine.
It's so silly, guys. If you love that particular moment in his Ghost Recon, his stream that in that night, you'll love the whole Quick and the Rad vibe. It's
Oh my
absolute
God.
madness. He had to put a leash on me a few times. I'm okay with that because it was a reality check for real. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, those are super fun. We
No,
had
that
a
was
brief
great.
moment with Rampart and Gibby. That was a good time. We had a
Oh,
couple
that's
good ones
so
there.
true.
That was
See,
such
that's
a
interesting.
fortress, dude.
Oh,
That was
fuck
such a
yeah, dude.
fortress team.
We
I
held that
love that.
back
Green
spot
silent killer
in
on top games.
that back spot in
Olympus.
Olympus. Yeah, there you
Yep.
go. We said it at the same time.
Yep.
No, it's the truth. We held that down, guys. Like you wouldn't believe, man. Like it was
It
super
it
sick.
it was one doorway out of
Like
one
3?
other doorway. If they would have went the long way, they would have been able to go up down
Oh,
the
that's right.
elevator and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
run
yeah.
that way. But even then, like the storm
Sims
had
is my
all the other
pastime
entrances
kinda
locked, so
game.
we were locking down
I
one
love the
entrance,
Sims. Dope.
and
Really awesome, Angel.
it was Rampart's walls, and my Gibby dome, and it was like we had that door locked down.
It
Like
was
people
locked.
had to get past that door in order to get inside the circle. And it was like it was us and one other team, and that was just the fight happening while the circle was coming in. It got to a
Mm-hmm.
point where we eventually had to jump out and shoot someone, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In
no
order to
man,
actually win, we actually had
in
to
order to
kind of
actually win,
fight.
yeah, we had to get out of
Um,
it, but we locked it down. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
I remember like running into the circle and just putting up walls around me so I would have a defense in case they got to me. But
Yeah,
you had your Gibby Dome out there protecting us, and you were actually laying them out pretty well too, from what I remember.
it was a really good time.
No, for real, guys. Like it was a lot. It was like a long time ago, but I remember there was really good moments with your Gibraltar where you just kind of like had a really strong hold on us where you could like really protect us and be like, yo, you guys gotta stay right here. Just like hold on for a bit. And then you had these moments where like you could tell us when to go and when it was safe to move forward. And I really love it. And I like it a lot because it
Why
took
can't you get a
away
PS4 by
because for
November
some
so I
I don't know
can
what
get
it is
back
about me that
into
I
it?
don't like being called a designated team leader. I don't like that vibe. Yes, I know what I'm doing and I can tell you where to go and all that, but when it comes to ordering people around, I feel like I'm taking away their ability to choose for themselves. So when it came to your Gibraltar and you were kind of protecting us and you're like, Dome's out here, run this way, Dome will protect us from incoming fire. And I was like, okay, yeah, definitely. Fuck yeah, let's do that. And it,
Yeah,
it, it felt like the shoe was on the other foot in the sense that I'm following you because you know what you're doing. And your
yeah,
Gibraltar really did really made me feel like I was following you. And
yeah,
I really do love that because like I said, like I've said before off camera and on record, um, Team Duality was never about having a team leaders, like a specific person to lead us. It was
yeah,
about being able to bring both of our abilities and our personalities to the table and really work in exchanging what that was like for each of us to make that team work. That's why it was
yeah,
called Team Duality for a very long time. Until this day, that's what it's called. That's what we are called as a unit, as a duo
yeah.
team. We are Team Duality for that reason.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, and that's
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's essentially all the teams we had.
hmm Like all the official teams. Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. No.
We tried
I
to make a
I
few
don't.
work at that after those,
There.
but yeah,
Yeah.
they all
Season
kind
6 was
of
a rough patch. I remember that.
yeah. And we had a couple things that worked. I think we had I don't know. You
We,
ran Maggie, and I ran someone else. I
oh,
just couldn't
that's
remember
right.
who it
You ran a
was.
little bit of Bloodhound with my Maggie, and you ran your Fuse with my
Ah,
Maggie as well. That was really fun too. Um,
did we ever run a? We ran a caustic Bangalore duo at
yes,
some
Jekyll
point.
and
Oh,
Hyde.
yes, that's Jacqueline Hyde.
As brief as it was overpowered, and we
It
probably didn't
was
play them as much
overpowered.
together because of that reason.
No, we
Our
we cleaned
introduction
house.
video for that team was amazing. It's truly flawless in every way. I really love how quick it was for us to adapt to that nature of being a
Oh
defensive
man,
team
that
with
oh
an offensive front. I loved it.
yeah,
I loved it,
yeah,
man.
that one was very very what's the word? I don't know, like overpowered's a really good word for it.
Honestly, it really is in a lot of ways.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, like those are all the teams we made throughout our long career here.
definitely.
Um, and kind of taught this. I don't know. We talked about these things kind of out of order, but we had a lot of the real talks in the beginning, and we've
Hey, bring
clearly
it
had a
back, man. Don't be afraid
really.
to do that. Let's do it.
Oh no, that's great. Um, but no, like we've been through a lot of real life shit in this game. We've
Amen.
been through a lot of in-game shit with this game. We've met people, we've made friends, and we've figured out who our friends are. And we figured out what is a right and healthy move for us as individuals when it comes to who we're going to play with, who we're going to put energy and time into, and who we're going to invest the time that we have here. What are we going to do here? Are we just going to play? Or were we going to be something more? Were we going to be something that we were going to be satisfied with at the end of the day?
What's our legacy at the end of the day as well? I think was
Absolutely.
something that we asked ourselves as well.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot. And I can walk away from this with my own. This crazy motherfucker here sent me this when I had reached my peak Mirage.
Sent me this. What the fuck are you talking about right now?
My heirloom.
No, say less. You still have that?
Dude, but what the fuck? I'm gonna put this in a glass case when I get some money for that thing. Yeah,
Oh
dude.
my god, dude. I
This motherfucker
actually
sent me
like.
this. This is a 3D printed Mirage heirloom. The thing that he's got on the TV.
Unbelievable.
That's what this guy sent me. And it doesn't do that, obviously. It has the Switch, but it doesn't do that. But he sent this to me in the mail, and I just completely lost it. He sent me a video as to why he sent it, and it was amazing. But
Yeah.
I wasn't even at the point where I was proud of my Mirage when he sent this to me. And
Yeah.
this was amazing. And it was so it was just
It was a
completely
very
difficult
emotionally
for me to
charged night from what I
compute.
remember. Yeah.
It really was, and
I think
I
we
couldn't.
both
Such a
cried.
great friend.
We did, we did,
I think we
and
both cried.
and
Yeah.
that's the thing is like I wasn't even there with my Mirage until I hit that point. Like the I Am Mario, he says there's better matches I've had after my I Am Mario video, but that
For real.
moment of I Am Mario was the first video. That's the first moment that I had where everything that I did, when I go back and watch that video, it doesn't look like I'm playing.
That's
Because
right.
I was
did tell you that.
playing that. I was playing that.
Like halfway,
but
not
even
even
I go
halfway
back and watch
through.
it doesn't look like me.
Yeah.
I look like a pro PC player running around that match.
Halfway through that, not even halfway through that video, I forgot I was watching you. I was like, who is this guy? And then I had to scroll down. I was
Yeah.
like, shit, oh my god.
Yeah. No, there's a point where I'm on the second floor of a building, and one of the last
yeah,
teams
yeah.
pushes the building I'm in, and my teammates are completely useless at this point. I have
They were very
completely
cowardly.
disregarded my teammates at that point. So I was on the second floor of this building, and as soon as this team knocks the doors in, I sprint and slide down the stairs to the lobby and hit my ultimate on the way into the lobby,
Oh,
and my
so
dupes
good.
disperse throughout that lobby.
That's facts,
And I
guys.
wiped them.
I remember watching that part. I was like, he should really go down there and drop his ultimate and get them from behind. But I'm like, no, Justin doesn't do that shit though. And then he did it. blew my mind. I'm
I-
like, who is
it's
this
so-
man right now? I'm looking at my phone watching this. He's like, you need to watch this. And I was like, who
Yeah,
is this? Real
yeah.
talk.
No, I can't. It still blows me away.
I can't believe, bro. I still can't believe you did that shit, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
just ridiculous. The
Come
ending
on,
to that
reconnect, you stupid
video,
stream.
man. That ending, oh,
The
so
ending of that is I still can't believe that that happened either.
nah, for real, man.
Sorry guys, my internet.
Retro stream cracked out again, face with tears of joy.
No man.
No, he's
I
back.
just- I
He's
can't-
back over there.
I
His
am
stream is
back,
kicking
yep.
back. Yep.
I'm
He's
back,
back.
now. Yeah, I'm about 10 seconds live. It takes a second to reconnect.
I won't.
apologize.
I'm not gonna continue our story unless he's here. I'm not gonna do that. That's just crazy
No,
talk.
no. I am right here.
He's here. Don't worry,
But,
dude. Don't worry.
I'll be solid. Like the audio and everything will still run through your video.
Oh, that's
I'll
true,
just
I
have
guess.
I'll have a drop in my stream, but I'll definitely have. I record my streams on top of streaming them live, so I
Oh,
have
good,
an
good, good.
I have an unbroken copy of this video, which will be posted on YouTube, so you guys won't miss anything. But no, like that, I have a video for just about every single one of the characters I've picked up. Definitely Mirage and Bloodhound and Caustic.
Caustic for sure. Yeah, I was
and-
gonna say.
I think I mentioned that before with my Fusey, because I feel like Fuse was really easy for me to pick up. And perfecting my Fuse took obviously the whole time I played him, but I feel like a lot of the times that I played were kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
If you link the video where you feel like that is like my I am Fuse,
Oh, for sure.
I need to jump into my YouTube and see.
You did.
Did I
you
ever
did.
post?
Yes,
Did I
you
post
did.
an I am Fuse?
Yes, you did. Yeah,
Did
it's not
I?
called I am Fused because you didn't feel like it back then. But I always say that it is your one, the one that really captures everything. I can't remember if it's you. It's with a Craver. You're on Grow Towers, and it's that wall that kind of lines it up. That's the one.
That's a team. That's a team duality one.
Yes, it was,
Was
because
that me
I
sniping
was.
from the ramp?
No. You're on Grow Towers. Like you're in the.
Oh.
You're like in the last one, like the far northeast
Oh, I love the
tower.
Kraber.
And you have the Kraber. Yeah, no, I love the Kraber too. No, but you have the Kraber,
Yeah,
and you're
Kraber's a
just
good
like bang, bang, and you're knocking down these guys, and then you're like, move up, and then I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
in, and then we freaking leap into it, and it's really great. Now that's the one. That one always will ring out to me because, like I said, adaptability comes through there almost immediately in that particular moment. So, in my personal opinion, that was the theme behind your Fuse, was adapting to a long range gameplay, even though you at the time you weren't really running a long range weapon
Yeah,
because you
that's
were
very
in
true.
you were in between your G7 and repeater, but you were still learning the repeater. So it was kind of like a half and half, if you will.
Yeah.
So I always think about that and how quick it was for you to adapt to that situation in particular. So, yeah, that's the one. At least for me. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
you can
that
tell me
makes sense.
otherwise, and I'd
haven't-
probably still believe you. But like, hey,
Yeah. No, I haven't. If you find that one, let me know. I'm seeing a couple of ones that happened on Olympus, but I can't really see which ones here. But yeah. No, those are like my staples. I had a couple good matches with Seer. I remember trying him out a little bit, but I didn't
That's
stick
true.
with Seer.
Seer was like it was an interesting bag of tricks. That guy.
It's a filler character.
For, for real.
Well, I'd hate to throw him under the bus, but yeah,
It's
that's
true.
definitely a filler character. But yeah, guys, this game has had a bigger impact on both of us than most people would tell you.
What most people would share with you willingly.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, would be open to share with you.
hmm
At this point, I don't really have, unless you have anything else you want to share. We've hit a lot of this stuff.
We actually covered a lot today.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's probably room for a part 2 kind of thing, but something that I would like to kind of add before we close up. I know it's around 10:30 and we both have stuff to do tomorrow, but if I could just say that regardless of how things ended, sour. We were both kind of upset with the game, how poorly handled it was being done within, I guess, I don't know, season 11 through 13.
Yeah.
Um, we still, actually, I'm sorry, I shouldn't speak for you, but I'll speak for myself in the sense that
Hmm.
regardless of how it ended, I personally would not change anything of my experience.
Absolutely.
Reasoning behind that is because if I did, I probably wouldn't even be playing with you. I probably wouldn't be within your circle of friends right now because I retired in season two. Not a lot of people know that or choose to acknowledge that. Even people that were our friends at the time, right? That called themselves our friends. They choose to ignore that fact because I'm still here. I was still present at the time as well.
Yeah.
But I retired because at that time I felt like I had officially capped off my ability there. I was a Wraith main at this time, guys. This was halfway through season two. Just after the collection event, I left, and at some point or another, you actually reached out to me and you said, "Hey, I don't know what's going on, but I need my wingman." And
Yeah.
uh,
It was the first time because I remember when I called. Were you dabbling with Bangalore at that time?
at this point, Bangalore was like a solid secondary. Like if not my main by this point. Um,
Yeah,
like
because I
close to
remember
main,
when you
yeah.
left. I remember when you left. That was when it was as apparent as a sore thumb that every other
Ouch.
Bangalore was actual dog trash.
He
Every
always
other
says
one.
this for this
Every other
particular
one.
point in our history. It's true.
There is a point recorded in history where I am playing with people and I'm just like, I have a friend who is the best Bangalore I've ever seen. And
That's
that was
right.
back in 2000, what, not 2000, that was back in like season two.
Season two, season three, yeah, roughly, yeah.
Season two, season three, yeah. And it was
Yeah.
like, and it was bad, dude. And it wasn't even my teammates, it was enemies too.
I believe it was Kat that was your Bangalore at that time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was playing with Cat and
Yeah, she was your Bangalore.
shit. Who was the other one? Cat
Game Boy.
and the Game Boy. Yep. Oh, that was a good time.
Yeah. I
But
remember
no,
that
man, it was
video.
like
I was retired. I was long ways away from Apex, and
he
one
was
day
on a
I
beach in Maui sipping on
Woo!
coconut drinks. He was
Yeah, dude. I
retired.
remembered. I was out there, guys. I was gone.
He was
And
down in Florida.
there was a night
He
where
was
I just
that
like
retired.
watching one of the YouTube videos you uploaded, and I caught wind of that comment. Like I used to play with a Bangalore, and he was really good. And then Kat like interjects, is like, "Oh, you mean me?" And you're like, "No, I just kind of met you. I'm talking about some other one." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Who is he talking about?" And I remember reaching out. I'm like, "I don't know. I know we haven't
Yeah, I
talked to each
remember.
other in a while, but like." If you're talking
I just
about
saw
me,
your
I really
recent stream.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that was
I was
it.
like,
Like
hell
that's,
yeah, I'm talking about you.
and I was like, oh, okay. Ooh.
Ooh, woo, finger tap, sad face.
Oh my god, it was crazy, bro. Like I remember that. And then this guy calls me back. And then like you said, like you were having a struggle at the time. And I'll let you finish that. By the way, I
I was
shouldn't.
just having teammate struggles at that point. I was like, I
Yeah,
was
for
dropping
real.
in everywhere. But that was the point. Like, I wasn't even playing with Cat and Game Boy in that particular moment when I had reached that point. I was
Hmm.
just dropping in. I was trying to meet people. I was trying to chat. I was trying to have a good time. And my teammates were trash. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was just like, and I think I mentioned that in the text too. I was
Yes,
just like, bro, you have spoiled me.
that's the
It's like,
facts.
I
I
need you
remember
to
that.
come back.
Yeah,
It was
no,
like,
that's
I
right.
need my wingman to come back. You have spoiled me with your Bangalore. I
Literally
need
word for word.
help.
Yeah. And then not even a day later, bro. Probably the same fucking night I came back. And that's all it took.
Yep.
You can fly with me anytime, some Iceman
Yeah.
Maverick
Yep.
shit.
Iceman Maverick shit. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Literally, that's what I saw. That's what I felt, and I think I even compared it to that shit that same day. But
Yeah. Yeah. You did bring it
I
up.
think
Yep.
every time we talk about this particular moment in our history, I think I'd call it that as well.
Yeah.
Um,
The Iceman Maverick
yeah,
moment. Yeah.
that's our Top Gun moment,
Yeah.
and I came back for that reason. And later on, during my Bangalore heirloom stream. I believe you paid me probably like the biggest compliment I've ever received ever. And you were just like, playing without you was like the equivalent of looking out to a mountain range without a mountain. The mountains were missing. And I was like,
Yeah.
what?
I was like, I need you to just picture World's Edge, the entire mountain thing, with the whole bird thing, the Trials Bird Mountain thing. Just picture the map without that mountain, and that is this game without playing with you.
Wow. That's so crazy, bro. Like every time, man, like it sounds so interesting that to me, to hear your perspective of what it's like to have me with you, you know what I mean, on your team.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't think of myself that highly. And I like everyone does this, but everyone is their own greatest critic. And for me, I
Yes.
could always be doing better. Um, like I was
Updated
thinking
the
about this
photo on my
today.
YouTube finally lol.
Oh, nice. You look great. Um, and I was thinking about this today before I left for home from work, and I kind of had a laugh because I said this to you a couple weeks ago when we were just kind of vibing during your editing one night, and I said that the biggest joke about our time here in Apex Legends, and this is what I wanted to say earlier, was that even though we've had like a terrible time towards the end of our experience here, we
Yeah.
would probably still come back, especially you, even if it's just like a social thing, just to like play with some people that are in your chat or whatever it is, you
Yeah.
would probably still come back.
In
But
some way,
the
shape, or form.
in some way, shape, or form, yeah. And the real punchline I told you was the fact that even though I don't want anything to do with this game moving forward with my life, I would still want you to call upon me as your wingman. And the fact of the matter is, the real punchline, like the punchline of the punchline, is the fact that I would say yes, I'll come
Yeah.
back. And the reason why is because, like I said, even though it sounds ridiculous, I always feel like I owe you that I have to come back, even if I have nothing to do with this anymore. Always feel like I would rather you have me on your team than deal with some schmuck who doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I would be happier knowing that I'm on your team than rather having some random, like rando guy on there
Yeah.
giving you a hard time because he doesn't understand you or how you do things or why you do those things. I would rather you be comfortable, and that's why I would always come back.
Yeah, and that's the fact of the matter is that I know for a fact that anyone else I play with is not going to look at 75% of the game because
That's
you see
fair.
100% of the game.
That's fair. That's very fair. It's so true and it's fair. Like that's 100%
I was just
accurate.
like,
I love
why would I
that.
buy the full screen DVD when I can have the IMAX enhanced Blu-ray over here? Come on.
That's so accurate. I love it. I'm IMAX boys. Yeah.
IMAX enhanced. Let's go.
Honestly, guys, there's so much more that we could tell you. There's so much ups and downs, so many negatives that we could add to this. But
We
today
had a
wasn't
lot
about
of
that.
psychological trips.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you
Honestly, we
about the
shared quite a
time.
bit of it. I
We
mean, I
honestly
did
did.
anyway. I shared a lot of mine,
I
a lot of my
mean,
heavy stuff
if
there at the
if
beginning. But I mean,
if it's any like if I honestly I could tell you guys about my personal one that was really rough. If we have the time. I don't know. Do we have time?
we got a little bit of time.
We got a little bit of time. We have about 15 minutes. You know what? I'll give you guys a rundown as to how crazy it got for me. I played this game for 12 hours a day, on my days off and off work whenever I had the opportunity, and that would start at 6 o'clock in the morning. I would enter the firing range for 12 hours. I wouldn't get off until about 3 or 4 p.m. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep nor did I even take care of myself, like nourishment, water, food, nothing. I would play for 12 hours straight, just gaming here, learning, teaching myself about my favorite legend, that's Bangalore.
In the
And
chimney.
I gave her all my time and effort, all my love and appreciation and my dedication to this character, to the point where I played my thumbs raw, and I was like, oh, that hurts, but I still haven't mastered my smokes yet. And oh, Agent Retro and Maddie just signed on. Oh, there's their invite. Ah, what's another 4 hours? So we did it. From 8 p.m. all the way to through midnight. A full day's gaming of Apex. Not only was I in already for 12 hours straight in the firing range, teaching myself how to play this legend front to back with every weapon imaginable,
He still had
with
to be social at the end of all
I
that.
still had to be social, but here's the problem. Not only did I play my thumbs raw before those notifications showed up, but because I had to be the hero and be the best Bangalore ever and be the best teammate ever, I kept playing to the point where my thumb split open and bled all over my controller. That is a fact. I have the scars to prove it. I played so intensely to the point where I had to wear bandages over my thumbs for 2 weeks. And I had to change them routinely, clean them out, disinfect it, and I kept playing because I refused to be a bottom tier Bangalore because I believe that this character, this all time my favorite legend ever, deserved the dedication that I thought she deserved. So I played to the point where my thumb split open and bled everywhere. My brother caught me applying the bandages, the disinfectant, touch-ups, everything. And he asked me if I was okay. And I said yes. Because I thought by giving my dedication to a fictional character to the point of being the best, being known as the best, to the point where my dedication to this character became known to as given to me as a name, as a title, as the Bangalorian, by like 4 different people, including Justin himself, Agent Retro,
Yeah.
um, Mad Gal Maddie, freaking Baba Yaga Alex. I love you, man. If you're watching, I love you so much. You were the best caustic ever. Straight up, crazy shit. Uh, fucking awesome guy. And then we had Forest Green. She was great, good person up until a certain point. But all 4 of you guys collectively looked at me and saw my dedication to this one character who I refused to give up to anybody. And you guys unanimously named me the Bangalorian because of my dedication. Yep. Agent Restro did not know about my split thumbs until very much later into our friendship. I didn't tell him about my thumbs until
Got
season
me
7.
today.
He didn't know that. And when he found out, he checked me since then. Like every now and then, he's like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "I'm good. Are you sure you want me to keep playing?" I can keep playing. Are you sure? And I'm like, "Yep." Okay. And then we would drop in, but he would check me every now and then. He kept me in check ever since. I went hardcore. I played this game to a point where I literally devoted my mental and physical health to it. And I thought it was okay.
It's hard.
It doesn't sound real, but it was. And it is. Like, that's a part of my history. I got my title from these 4 people who I truly loved and adored and believed that they deserved the best of me. My 200%, whether they knew it or not, I studied. I wrote a notebook. It's there. Roughly 40 to 50 pages of me taking notes on not only my legend, but their legends of choice at the time. I knew their weaknesses. I knew their positives. I could tell them where they could be at if they truly tried at the time to improve, because not only did I see how they played, but I also took the time to learn their legends, to study their legends and play them at their level and then play them at mine to see how full their potential could be. That's
Sounds
why
familiar.
that's why I believed in them. I still believe in you. I still believe that even now you could be even better. And that's part of the punchline. Because if you were to ask me, "Do you think you did enough?" And I said yes, I will say yes. I definitely did enough. I give my heart and soul to this
Yeah.
character and this game. But the funny
Yeah.
part is, I will always say, yes, I did, but I could always have been better. Because my goal every single time, and he can tell you this, my goal in life in Apex Legends was to be better than I was in my previous match. That's how I
Yep.
learned. That's how I trained myself. I trained my heart and soul into the grinder. Just like I threw it in there without any like understanding of the repercussions that would come within that. And I went hardcore. That's how hard
Yep.
it went. Yeah.
Yep.
Did I earn my title? Hell yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. Even
Did
when you
I
didn't think you did, I told you you
even yeah,
did.
that's right. This guy never let me feel defeated. Even when I did feel defeated and I had a mental breakdown right in front of him, I always
Sending me
picked myself up.
tech, sending me text like, "Was my Bangalore good enough?" I was like, "You shut the fuck up."
Not only did I pick myself up, but then fall immediately after, but he was there to pick me up as well and then carry me through it. This is my best friend, always will be, no matter what happens in the near future or the distant future. He could be accused for murder and he'd still be my best friend because not only did he see me at my finest, but he saw me at my worst. And he still believed in me. And not only did he believe in me, but he picked me up and carried me through some of the hardest shit in life. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows what happened to me. And he's still stuck by me. Which is why the greatest punchline in our career is that he could come back to this game no matter how terrible the game is in its current state or afterwards or whatever.
It's
And
pretty rough.
all he would tell me, all he would have to tell me is, hey, I need your help. And I would be back like lightning. Why? Because he deserves it. Because he helped me. And that's more than enough for me to come back every single time. Every single time. Not only that, but you genuinely make me laugh. So there you go.
I'm
So that's what
I'm
it
I'm a
is.
buffoon to be sure.
Hey, man, it
I'm also a
works.
baboon at times.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Like you have your moments, man, but it's good, man. I wouldn't
Uh,
have it any other way. I wouldn't change nothing because, hey, man, like if I didn't come back after you called me in during season two, who knows what we would be doing right now?
yeah. Nah, man, you've made me laugh as well. You've come in here telling me some amazing stories about your dad reading you comic books. You've come
Yeah,
in here
man.
talking to me about your Ronald McDonald Fruitopia dream
Oh
that
my
you had the
God,
night before. That is still the funniest shit I have ever heard come out of your mouth.
the best. Probably one of my best stories, if
It's
not the best.
amazing. The crazy part is the impression. The visual is a fun anime sequence, but the
Oh, for
visual
sure.
is literally you fighting Pennywise dressed up like Ronald McDonald.
Hell yeah.
Your impression is perfect. It's like an SNL Pennywise. It's perfect. Oh my god. Oh, that's another video. You
Honestly,
definitely need to
yeah.
watch that video. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
for real.
god. But no, just long and short of this, we have had a very long career in this game. We had a very solid run in like the first eight seasons. It started burning out really hard around the seasons after that,
Yeah, after
and
season 8, yeah, for real.
yeah, and then
We
this
questioned our
game
purposes in here too.
we really
As goofy
did.
as that sounds, guys, we really did question
We
everything
did.
we did moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the lack of care for the community and the lack of care for the game was
Yeah.
just making us question
Yeah.
if all the time the last 2.5 years that we put in here
At the time,
was even
yeah, for
worth all the
real.
time.
Yeah.
And it always loop back to that. When you have a doubt in your mind, you can follow the trail of breadcrumbs all the way back to the solid
Always.
logic that reassures yourself. And at the end of this, I walked away and found my best friend.
Yeah.
And I
Me too.
walked away
Me too.
with my best friend from this game. And that's what
Yeah.
I walk away from this game with.
Me too. Same. 100%. Wouldn't
He
change a
has
thing.
said
Not a thing.
he said numerous times throughout his career that he's retired, and he has mentally been retired, but he pulled me out of a very dark headspace when I was disassociating from
Bro.
him, from anyone, and he pulled me out of a very dark space that I didn't even know I was in. That's when I retired from this game, and that's when I was done.
I
And
just wanted
tonight
my
we're,
friend back, dude. Fuck.
dude, that's what got me. Like, you sat there and genuinely told me it wasn't laced with Apex, undertones or anything about my career or playing the game at all. It wasn't laced with anything. It was literally, I don't even recognize you anymore. And I was like, what have
Yep.
I been doing different? It's like everything.
Everything.
It's like, yeah, I don't feel like I can talk to you, and that was it.
I knew there was something wrong when your timing with your dupes was off. When you
That was
call
bad.
outs slowly but surely stopped coming in.
Go for it,
When
Angel.
when you oh man, when you asked me to EMP but the timing was off, I was like,
Oh, that was bad.
bro, I was like, dude, you've never done that
Yeah,
ever.
my EMP's never been off.
But that one time you called it and it hit nothing, I was like, who the
That was
fuck
a
is this?
bad
Like,
one.
who is this? I said to myself. I
Yeah.
was like, who? I remember asking you there too, like off camera. I was like, bro, who even are you? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
For real. I was like,
It didn't process then.
no, I
That's
remember
the
we were
crazy
at
part. Is you
the,
were being honest with me
dude,
with those
look,
questions and shit. You were genuinely asking me this stuff, and I wasn't even processing what you were asking me.
I was like, I remember we were at the bar in a different game, guys. We weren't,
Yes,
we
there's
don't we are not neighbors, or we are not even remotely physically near each other.
no.
We are
We're
15
actually
hours
in
away.
different countries.
Yeah, we are in two completely different countries. But we were in a game and it had a bar, and I looked at him and I told him, I was like, dude, I don't recognize you. Everything's different. I actually feel very uncomfortable trying to talk to you because I feel like I can't. And like you said earlier in the video, I said, I'm. If you want to close the door on this, that's totally fine. I will walk away, but until that moment happens, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here until that moment comes. And that was that was like the realest thing I've ever said to you ever.
It was
And
interesting because the trigger phrase you had that actually started like cracking that disassociating show was "I don't feel like I can talk to you anymore."
yeah, no, that was it, man.
It was like
No,
because
real talk, man.
I don't I never that was never something I wanted to hear you say. And it's like and that was it. I was like, wait, there's like I actually need to look at this. What is he actually telling me? Like because we weren't in Apex. Because a lot of
No.
the things you said directed at me, I always took. If we were playing the game, I always kind of took it as talking about my gameplay. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, I
and
can
that was
work on
never the
myself.
intention. I
Yeah.
never meant to criticize or sound like I was. I
But
was
that's
just
the
trying to
thing. It's like I always in Apex,
yeah.
I always kind of took it that way. I was like, oh, okay, I'll work on this, work on that, yada yada. But even then, I had disassociated and was so anxiety riddled. I didn't even know
hmm
how to. I didn't even know how to push
Process
myself to
that
be
info.
better in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. It was super strange to me. Even now, looking back and thinking about it,
Yeah.
it still feels like I was like I'll look back at some of that footage and I'll be like, who you what? Like
Ooh,
what? Like
what
what
happened?
happened? For
Yeah.
real. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's the
and that's
truth.
scary. It's scary to think about when you come out on the other side of all that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
But
it's
I'm
honest.
just at that point I'm just happy that I had someone there who was willing to sit down with me in a bar in a video game with a beer in my hand and just let me know
No,
this
man.
is this isn't
That was my
this is not
last
my
attempt
friend.
too. I remember just like, if this doesn't work, nothing will.
And
And
that's the sad part is he says that's his last attempt, but he's attempted before.
yeah,
And
several
I
times.
didn't
Oh
catch
my
it.
God, dude, do you
And he
remember?
told me about the times he caught it. He
Yeah,
told me
the one
in
that
that last time.
really.
I was like, I don't even remember that.
No, no, the one that really always sticks out to me is that For those of you that don't know, I have a stutter that kind of like activates whenever it feels like. And there was a night we were with oh shoot, I forgot his name. Apologies. We were out in a storm point, and I took a kill, got him down, knocked him. My kill, was gonna loot him, and you came in, and you looted everything. And I was like, I needed all that. And our Riley,
Oh, right.
and Riley was there, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I took some of that," and then he dropped it for me, and I'm like, "It's cool. He took the gun that I needed from that box. It's fine." And then Riley did his best through his in-game, sign language to tell me that it was okay, that he was sorry, and I'm like, "It's not your fault." After that match, I left, and you're like, "Hey, let's meet up in the firing range and talk, and like I'll do editing or whatever." And I snapped, and I was like, "Yo." I don't appreciate you like coming in and making fun of my stutter. Like, what the hell is that? And that really needs to stop. And then the thing that was super crazy was like that you apologized for it, and like the next day, you immediately started
They
doing
did
it
it
again.
again.
Yeah, that was when I knew
Yeah.
something was definitely wrong. And because like you got emotionally charged with that apology too, and I was like, oh shit, things might have changed. But like not even a day
No.
later,
No. No.
immediately happened again. And my last attempt was taking you into Deep Rock Galactic next to the bar, and I was like, look, this is the one place that I feel like is a neutral ground for me and him. And I was like, I gotta tell him here.
It
I have
worked.
to tell him. And I was like, I'm gonna put a beer in his hand, and we're gonna sit over here, and I'm gonna tell him that
Yeah.
this shit's not working anymore. And I ran the numbers and everything, and I told you, I was like, I got 20 kills not playing with you in comparison to playing with you where I only get two through the entire
Yeah.
night. And I got three or so wins playing by myself with complete randos, complete
Didn't get a
strangers,
single one with you.
and I didn't even get one with
Yep.
you in like
God damn.
3 seasons.
Sorry, this train's cutting out again.
No, it's
Yeah.
all good. No, and I was, I was just being really honest. I was like, I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm just telling you that something is wrong.
Yeah.
And it, as unreal as it sounds sometimes, but that was the last attempt for me, and I was gonna stick it out even after that. And my one rule when it comes to cutting somebody out of my life, they have to
Yeah.
fuck up in such a major way
Asshole.
for me to really do that. And at that point, we were close.
Yeah.
Not only was like
That's
that happening with the stutter and like straight up pulling a Maddie and like taking my stuff out of my win, my kills and whatever.
yeah.
And I was like, where is he? Like, what happened? And I told you, I was like, I just want my friend back. I don't know where he went, but like, if I can help you, give me the a chance to do it. And if
Yeah.
you don't want me around and you need to close that door, I told you, I was like, just say so, and I'll walk away. I'll do it. And
Yep.
as real as it is, man, like that's just the way it was. And we like both retired that night because we realized that it was costing us our friend,
It
like
was.
each other.
Oh. Yeah.
And
Everything that this game had given us and what we had created here
yeah,
was essentially being torn down by the same thing that created it.
exactly. Now I'll always be the Bangalorian, man. Like that that title encapsulates and it incorporates and inherits everything that it is that it was that I put out here in this game.
Yeah.
And it carries through through my history, whether it's Black Ops Cold War, Recon, or freaking Deep Rock,
Anything. Yeah,
anything.
anything.
My personality is in that name. And to me, man, you're always going to be Agent Retro. You're always going to be the Illusionist Supreme. You're always going to be all those things and more. You'll be Super Mario, you'll be Superman, you'll be all that. No matter where we go. And I told you this before too. You're like, would you come back because of the nostalgia? I'm like, what do you mean nostalgia? That's never changed.
Yeah.
We haven't changed as people in the sense of, oh, I'm no longer Super Mario, oh, I'm not Luigi, or I'm not Batman, Superman. That's never changed. It's
Yeah.
not nostalgia, I told you. It would be because I genuinely feel like I owe my friend my time, my effort, my appreciation, my love, my friendship,
Yeah.
my unity as a teammate, as a friend, as a brother, as a, what the fuck, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I feel like you deserve that time because you gave me yours. And that's enough for me.
Yeah.
You gave me a space to be safe, to be welcomed, to be me. It's the saddest truth ever to admit that no one who has ever called themselves my friend in person, who I've actually physically met, has ever given me that. It had to be a complete stranger in the middle of freaking United States to
I
give
am
me
in the
that
middle.
opportunity. That's what I'm saying. And that's why
Yep.
I will always come back and give you my time because you allowed me the opportunity to give you mine and vice versa. That's the way it is. Always.
Did my question go through on his stream?
Oh, Angel says that she asked you a question.
She was going to. My stream cut out. I apologize.
Oh,
Yes. Definitely ask your question, Angel. I'm sorry for my stream. It's
mm,
my internet was being weird earlier. I should have reset it before I went live. I'm sorry.
no, but that's my half, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
I said my piece, you said yours, man, and honest to God, man, like with all the leaks that came out the other day and me reading about it and actually catching up
It's for both you.
today. Oh, it's for both of us. What's your question?
Oh, go for it.
Oh yeah, I would love that. I would love to answer that before our closing statements here.
Yeah.
Are we friends?
Are we friends? Wow.
Are we friends?
As in like,
Me and him,
or as in like
or us and you?
us and you? Could you be just like a tiny bit more specific?
You guys and me.
Absolutely. Us and you? Absolutely. I'll speak for
Yeah.
myself. I'll say yes. I'll
Yeah.
say yes because not only, here's the thing. I myself personally never wanted to be a streamer.
I'm having a hard time with holidays.
You know, I never wanted to be a streamer because I wasn't sure if I had the personality for it. Agent Retro always told me that I did. He would honestly almost daily encourage me at one point. And now I'm here streaming with him, myself, by myself, whatever, and I see people coming in and I see you guys watching and you comment and whatever. And I feel like that makes you a friend of mine because you stuck around long enough
And
to
only
learn,
having one face-to-face
you know,
friend.
and you guys stuck around because of that. You wanted to
No
know,
parents.
you know, and I feel like that's meaningful to me. That means something to me. That you dedicate your time and your effort to learn and to stick around
Yeah.
and watch us do our thing. I'll do my thing. I'll speak for myself. Sorry, I don't like speak for both of us or anything.
Oh no, you're
But
good.
you know, I would say that if you're going through a rough time right now, I'm not gonna. I'm just assuming, right? Like I'm just kind of generalizing. If you're going through a rough time, and I would say, you know, one step at a time. Like I always say at the end of all my streams and some of my videos, take the first step. Whether it sounds difficult at the moment to hear, I would always say that, as a follow-up, take the first step. It's always going to be difficult, but the fact of the matter is you decided to take it. And you don't know what's on the other side, but hey,
You
it
won't know
might be
until you take that
you
first
won't
jump.
know until you take it. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know yet that it's worth it, but when you get there and you realize that it is, that's all that really matters at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is that you're going through,
Yeah.
you will find that moment when it counts.
Mhm.
It might not seem like it at the time, but when you look back and reflect, you'll notice it. I promise
Yeah.
you that.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's the facts there.
Yeah.
One step at a time, guys. Always.
Yep. And at the end of this road that we've taken with this game,
Yep.
I walk away from the game with my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't played this game in a couple months now, and in those couple months, it's been fun because we've been playing other stuff.
Hell
We
yeah.
just finished a playthrough of Resident Evil 5, currently playing It Takes Two, and
Yeah.
got 3 other games lined up for after those are done.
It's
And
crazy that
I
we
have
do
been,
already. I love it.
I have been, I have been. Have you felt that too? I have just felt like a
Agent,
massive, like,
comments on my question.
muscle release. Like my muscles in my body just feel so much less stress that I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel stuck in this game.
Hell yeah, man.
And just playing something else has felt so much, it's felt so refreshing. And it's given me the opportunity to actually have fun and enjoy the game for what the game is giving me, not what I'm trying to create in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been such, this game has been and will be a chapter in my life.
For sure.
There
Yeah.
is a chapter in my life titled Apex Legends, and that is what everything we told you tonight is going to be. But I'm turning the page on that chapter. And if this game ever changes for the better, I might want to pick it up again.
Hell yeah.
But I'm not seeing any signs of that anytime soon. And I have spent way too much time here and way too much mental energy stressed in this game. So for the betterment of my mental and physical health, I'm stepping away from this game. And I'm going to toast to everything that we've done and everything
Here,
we'll do in
here.
the future.
Amen.
We made these, well, I had these cups made for us. His looks better than mine because his is not a typo. Mine says Agent Retro on the label with the Apex logo on the side. His says the Bangalorian,
Holding
respectfully.
up to camera now. Hell yeah. I
Absolutely.
appreciate this, man. I really do.
Oh,
I know I didn't say too much about it when we first talked about it, but I really do appreciate it. It's
no, it's just my
At
pleasure.
first I wasn't too sure about the Apex logo, but when I actually held it in my hand, I kind of it ended up feeling right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this is just, it's representing us closing everything we did in the game. It's
That's
closing
right.
our chapter of Apex Legends, and that's what this is closing out.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, if the game ever changes, I might pick it up again. At this point, I'm good.
Mhm.
And I want to thank everybody for coming out and
Yeah, for real.
experiencing and understanding a lot more about us and our journey with this game. I did a lot of my streaming career in this game, and it was hard for me when I thought about moving on to something else because I felt like I had kind of developed my brand in this game. But I do not feel that way anymore. I have been playing so much more other things and hanging out with so many more people and have realized that I am what makes my stream. I am what makes my brand. It is not the game that I play. So I'm here.
Wow, that is so refreshing
To,
to hear.
no, dude, this game is
Holy
this game
shit.
has This game has
Yeah.
nothing to do with Agent Retro.
Wow.
Agent Retro has been in this game before and has made something for himself in this game.
Wow.
This game is not a part of Agent Retro anymore. And I'm toasting to all the good things I've done in this game, and I'm turning the page on this chapter. My dude, cheers to you,
Cheers.
everything you've done. You
Hey, man.
are a staple. You deserve a bronze statue in game on the hill where our Mario Brothers trailer sits on World's Edge right now.
Hallelujah, man. Thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. We're going to sign off after this, but thank you for hearing our story in this game, and thank you for being
Thank you,
here
guys.
to witness and hear all of it. It's
Thank
been
you
a
so
ride.
much, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. For real.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Angel, for being here. I really do appreciate you
Yes.
stopping by our streams together. I know you're probably running like 3 different phones right now to keep this
Yeah,
going,
for
but
real.
thank you for being here tonight.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I almost lost it when I saw you come
Always.
in. I was
Yeah.
just about to cry, and I was like, "Fuck,
Yeah.
she's here."
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know what I
thank you
mean.
so
But
much.
thank you so much for
Two
coming
phones
by.
low.
You
Yeah.
know, thank you everybody. If I could just touch a little bit. Thank you to all the friends we made. Thank you for all the enemies we made along the way, the friends that we lost, the people we lost, the haters, the
Yep.
people who and cheered us on, because you guys really got us here. You know, regardless if it was love or hate, it pushed us that much harder to get here. And
Yep.
you know, things might have gotten rough, things might have been miraculous, um, but I wouldn't change anything.
We are
Re-
who we are
we are
today
who we
because
are.
of you.
We are exact damn straight. Legends are made, you know. We go through our own
Right.
crucibles in our own way, but that's at the end of the day, that's what we're here for.
Yep.
I have immediate alerts for you guys to start streaming.
Oh wow, Angel, that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that. Apparently Angel has our notifications for both of our streams. That's crazy, man. Wow, thank
Yes.
you.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Um, yo, before we close up, I wanna get you into the firing range together. I wanna do some like a really a good salute, you know,
Oh yeah,
a
absolutely.
little military salute type thing. I I had the script here, but I can't find it anymore. So I'm gonna do my best. Um, you'll
Let me
watch
get into
me, I
my
guess, or
salute.
something. Oh, dude, nice. Oh,
I gotta get in. I gotta get into mine.
yes, please. Let me see that blue one last time until
Which
future
one?
Oh,
the future note. The
Oh,
highlight
your
one,
blue
bro.
boys?
That blue one, man.
Oh,
Give me
all
give me
right.
your original skin.
My
For those of you
original,
guys that
my
don't know, the ones that you're seeing on screen momentarily, including his and mine.
Yep.
These are the original skins that we met in and
From
played with
season 2.
from seasons almost from season 0 all the way to through
Yep.
2.
Yep.
Um, these were our skins. These were the ones we were known for by our friends and enemies and
Yep.
everyone else.
This was my retro skin. I ran this as my agent
That
retro skin.
was the retro skin, dudes. Like literally your whole brand kind of revolves around this color scheme, and I freaking love it.
Yeah, my brand at the time was very sky blue neon.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
lore, guys. This is the shit you find on
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to do this right, I would love it if we met in the middle platform over here.
Let's go this way.
Just because there's a lot of history for me here as well as you. I think
Yeah.
we did our first interview here as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the hemlock because for those of you that don't know the lore behind our careers here, the hemlock is the weapon that I chose to run for the majority of my career, and I also
Yeah.
happened to train retro with the hemlock at one point.
Yeah, he did.
Um,
He
and
converted me, so to speak.
and it was one of the happiest moments of my life. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just kind of meet up in the middle.
I'm
You'll
gonna
watch me,
rock. I'm
and
gonna
then
rock mine.
okay. So we'll
I feel like I feel like the 99 is mine.
so we'll that's actually perfect. Grab your attachments. Do all the
Oh, it's
things.
actually this one. Yeah.
I don't think kind of
Oh,
changed a few things.
it doesn't take barrel stabilizers anymore.
Yeah, it's laser sights now.
Yeah, weird.
Wow. So we'll face each other. We'll I'll say present arms, and we'll inspect weapons at that point. We'll do like this, bam, and then we'll about face and face the
Let's
these
check out
guys over
this
Middle
here,
banner. Yep.
middle banner, and then fire, and then we'll shoot, and that'll be our last big salute. We'll shoot
Empty a
3 times.
clip or
We'll shoot 3 times. Bang, 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 bang,
right, I'll
bang.
pulse 3 times.
Yeah. I'll shoot in single fire just so we're at the same pace. Okay,
Okay, gotcha.
here we go. We'll do present arms. Weapon inspect. Hell yeah. About
Yeah.
face. Fire.
Giving him the chin.
21 gun salute.
Fire. Fire.
I'm out of light ammo.
Right on. I felt good. I feel great.
Hey. You ready?
Yeah,
Toss it.
Ready? Toss it. Wow. That shit was heavy. Thanks,
You
man.
got my emotions, bud.
Oh, we're not done. We gotta
We're
leave.
not done?
Nope.
What? Where are we
We gotta
going?
leave.
Oh
Just
shit,
leave
you're
it.
right.
We just gotta leave.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
We spent a lot of time here, guys. This has been a very, very big part of my life, of our lives. And it got to a point where it was keeping us from moving forward. And I really want to keep moving forward.
I'm not stopping for nothing, man. Never.
I look forward to everything else we experience together. I look forward to the good times that we'll have
Hell yeah,
that are
man.
different from the types of good times that we had here, but will still be great nonetheless. Thank you, everyone who came to listen to our story. I would hope that you guys would check this out on YouTube and just experience all of it if you're just tuning in.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a ride, and we've been here for a while, but we're done. We're ready to move on to something new.
I'm ready,
So
man.
all of you big time streamers out there who are really questioning whether to stick around, just do
Oh,
yourself a
man.
favor and go play something else.
Go play something else, man. You'll
It's
actually
not
have
worth
more
your.
fun.
You will have more fun. Probably meet some great people. And you'll do yourself, your mental and physical health. You will do it a favor. I hope you all have a fantastic night and a great day tomorrow. I'm Agent Retro. He's the Bangalorian. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. See ya.
You heard the man, guys. I'm the Bangalorian, captain of this vessel, here to escort you through the vast and the infinite multiverse. Today was Apex Legends. You heard the ups and downs, the good and the bad, the ugly. Remember to take your first step. Thank you for watching, guys, really. This has been the first agent of the multiverse, Agent Retro, with me here tonight.
What's up?
Um, like I said, guys, you might not think it counts right now, regardless of what you're going through today, tomorrow, and the day after, but taking that first step
Blue
will
heart,
count
blue
at
heart.
the end. I promise you that. Thank you for stopping by, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.